Katie. I will now call their hearing to order. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. This afternoon I will be chairing the hearing. My name is Robert Hutchings. On my direct left is Ms. Nesbitt. On my far left is Mr. Upton. Representing the Assessment and Taxation Department, City of Winnipeg, is Ms. Capleave. And our secretary today is Ms. Sutherland. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit the discussion to those matters. The statements that applicants or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by this Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions based on the evidence presented at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed further to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, further information on how to do so will be included in this Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following their swearing in. We will then have the assessor's evidence presented first, followed by cross-examination by the appellant first, and then the panel members, and then the appellant's evidence presented, and then cross-examination by the assessor and again by the panel members. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions based on the evidence presented here today. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. And just as a note, can everybody please make sure that their cell phones are on complete silence before we start? And also, please note that there is no electronic devices to be used once you're being sworn in. So no cell phone or a laptop use during the appeal process. Also, I probably should deal with the parking here. We've got quite a few applicants showing up this afternoon. I'm not sure how long they're going to be there, but just to note that if you, I think the parking is restricted after 3:30 on King Street. And if you need to add parking to your meter, don't hesitate to go, and you won't lose your order, okay? Okay. First appeal on the docket today is 520 Kenniston Boulevard, Unit 21.
That's me.
And come forward, please, sir. And Katie, could you swear in the assessor and the appellant, please? So, Ms. Capleave, it's 520 Kenniston Boulevard. Okay. Have a seat there, sir.
The evidence you're about to present is the truth, only truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. Please stand. Can you say your name?
Steve Nichols.
Do you want to swear or affirm?
Either one.
Okay. Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
It is.
Thank you. Do you have evidence?
I have a son there.
Yes.
Okay. I know.
Bear with me here.
Should be at least 6 there.
Okay, so we've got evidence from you, sir. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so one for the assessor. Okay, and 2 for you.
Yep.
Ms. Capleave, if you'd like to take a moment to review that information presented by the appellant. And good afternoon, sir. Hi. We'll start with 520 Kenniston Boulevard, Unit 21, Ms. Capleave. When you're ready, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is parcel identification 1207 4520900. It is a condo number 119. The street address is 21-520 Keniston Boulevard. It is a neighborhood area of 616 JB Mitchell. The building style is a garden exterior entry. The year built is 1979. It has one floor and a total living area of 957 square feet. 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, 1 half bath. Central air is a wall unit, and it's got a balcony sunroom. The assessment roll on that is $195,000. The comparables 1 through 4 are all on the same street, all within close proximity. They have the same bedrooms and baths and similar square footage. The sale prices of the 4 comparables range from $190,000 to $221,500, giving a time adjustment sale of $195,700 to $228,367, a square foot ratio of 203.85 to 251.78. We have the subject property, as I said, 2020 assessment roll of $195,000, a total assessment per square foot of $203.76. On page 2, you see some pictures of what the unit looks like today, the current condition, and on page 3 is a map. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kapley. Mr. Mikos, any questions of the assessor's evidence presented so far?
Just the only question that I have, when you say that there's the time-adjusted sale price, is it because the units that, the comparables that were picked were from before April of 2018?
That's correct. They're adjusted to April 1st, 2018.
Okay. My only argument would be is that I think that in each of your cases, the price of the condominiums from the sale price to the time-adjusted price are reflected as an increase on all 3 of your comparables, or all 4 of the comparables. My only argument, and I didn't realize that I was going to be arguing this fact, but that condominiums, generally speaking, overall have decreased.
Okay, sir, you're presenting evidence. What I would like you to do is phrase it in a question to the assessor. Maybe if you could, we're right now questioning the assessor on her evidence.
Yeah.
And, so you're presenting evidence, then you'll have an opportunity to do that in your presentation. But I don't want to put words in your mouth, but perhaps you could ask the assessor in their market evaluations or market research whether they found that a time adjusted is warranted. I think that's what you're asking.
Basically, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
to the best of my knowledge, I know that the prices of the condominiums have gone down since 2016, 2017.
Okay.
And the adjustment that you made, if that is reflected in the decrease of the price.
The department found from April 1st, 2016 to April 1st, 2018 that the market in condominiums went up
Went up.
as the sale prices indicate here.
Okay.
I'm using you as a bit of an example for everybody else who comes forward.
No worries.
How to
no worries,
question the
yeah.
assessor. How's that?
I just didn't realize though that I could have brought many, I didn't realize the comparables, I didn't have access to the comparables.
Yeah.
Had I had access, I could have brought evidence reflecting, because my understanding was that the comparables were as of April 2018, and had I known that the comparables were gonna be from 2016, I could have easily brought comparables showing that the prices of condominiums have in fact gone down rather than up. But-
Well, yeah, you can make a verbal presentation based on your opinion of that.
Yeah.
When it's your time.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions on the assessor evidence?
No, that's it.
Okay. Lynn, any questions of the assessor?
I have a couple questions. First, your photos on page, well, the second page of your document, there is a date stamp there. Is that the date of this particular condominium? Is this the interior of this particular condominium?
This is the interior as of the current condition today.
Current condition, and is that the date of 9/10/2019?
That's the date it showed on MLS, so that's the date. It's stamped on MLS.
This is an MLS
It's a-
listing photo.
Well, the listing is not in here because it's post-reference, but the pictures are current and it's current condition. So this is the current condition of the condo.
Okay, in terms of the current conditions then, have you inspected?
No, I have
gone?
not. I am familiar though with the block, but I have not inspected this particular unit.
What about the comparables?
The
Are you-
comparables, I am familiar again with the block, but not the
not the
specific
interior, okay.
in each one.
So in terms of the finishing of the comparables then, based on your records, is it similar to the subject property in terms of its interior finish?
It's,
I see that the effective age hasn't changed from the year built, so I'm just wondering, upgrades, things like that?
yeah, I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay. All right, you're showing a sale of, in 2002, that's the last one listed in your records?
For the reference period, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Lee. Mr. Upton, any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, just a question here about units 3 and 4. They're smaller in size, yet the sale price of them was much higher than the other two.
Oh, comparable 3 and 4. yeah.
Comparable 3 and 4. You got 221,000 for one, or actually both of them, 221,000. Whereas the sale price of the others were 193, 190. Yet these two higher price units are smaller in size. Is there any accounting for that? Is there any reason why these smaller units sold for a much higher price?
That's just what the market indicated there.
You don't have any reason to, you don't see any difference?
Well, usually, no.
Okay, okay. So when you come up here with your 203.76 per square foot, is that a mathematical average between, I guess it's not,
Well, that's based on the sale.
between the 1 and 2?
No, it's the comparable one is 193 divided by 963 gives you $200.42.
Right, and you come up with 203.76.
That's the time adjusted, yeah.
Okay. Okay, which is roughly the same as comparables 1 and comparables 2 and time adjusted per square foot. Right, okay, that's good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Ms. Capweave, I'm just looking at the, following up on Mr. Upton's question. I'm looking at the photos on page 2 of your presentation, and there seems to be quite a bit of modernization done to the condo. Is it possible your assessment isn't reflecting the upgraded current physical condition of the property, or just?
That's correct, yeah. We would probably be adding an effective age to this condo
Yeah.
now that it's been redone.
So your assessment is at the bottom end of the 4 comparables,
That's correct.
indicating, I guess, average maintained condos. Going by the photos, it's probably much improved compared to what you're aware of.
That's correct,
Okay.
yes.
And it's possible, maybe possible, the comp 3 and 4 reflect renovated condos?
It could be, yeah, I don't know specifically.
You don't know for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
that's my only questions. Okay. Mr. Mikos,
Yes.
when you're ready, please.
Okay, so the only thing that I have as evidence, although the assessor's notes indicate that the last purchase price was in 2002 for this particular unit, it was in fact sold very close to April of the year necessary, which is 2018. So last year is when this subject property was sold. And you have that evidence there. And the sell price is well below what the assessed price is. And it's well below what the comparables are as well. All these comparables are in and around 200,000. And the sale price, which was a few months after the required April of 2018 value of the property, was 120. I just wanted to mention that you can't get much closer to April of 2018, what the actual market value of the property is, than the sale price of the actual unit itself, rather than a comparable.
Okay. So you presented us with an actual sale that the assessor and the board would consider to be post-reference, only by 4 months, I guess?
Exactly.
3 months, 4
Yeah.
months, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
I mean,
Anything else you'd like to tell us about the unit or
not-
the sale?
no, or the purchase, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
purchase.
purchase. No, the property was, it wasn't as if it was undervalued or anything. The property was on the market for some time, and there was multiple offers on this property in question, and I got it at the higher of the two prices, only to say that the other second offer was probably for less money, if they took my offer, which was for more money.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mikos. Ms. Cap, we have any questions of the appellant?
Yes. What was the date that this sale occurred?
August of
Okay,
2000.
So that is post-reference. This sale would be considered for the next round of reassessment, which then is from April 1st, 2018 to April 1st, 2020. So this is a post-reference sale. Now, and the second question is, since you've bought, what was the condition of this condo like when you bought it?
It was rough,
Pardon me?
rough,
Rough. And what is the condition of the condo today?
nice.
Nice. Okay, so you do realize its current condition today? And these are the pictures of the current condition, correct? Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Kepley. Mr. Upton, any questions of the appellant?
Yes, when you bought the unit, how much money did you spend on the renovations?
Ooh, how much money did I spend on the renovations? Probably 40-ish, 50, 40, somewhere between 40 and 50,000.
Okay, 40 to 50,000. Did you take a building permit up for that?
We took the necessary permits, yeah. I mean, for example, the plumber took his permit and the electrician took his permit.
Okay. So the 50,000 was spent on interior,
Correct.
more than cosmetic?
More
You
than
did-
cosmetic?
You did more things than just cosmetic changes,
No, just cosmetic,
for 50,000.
yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Well, 4250, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Lynn, any questions?
No, I have no questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Mikos, you purchased it at 120,000, 2018, and you're saying it was, looking at the listing that you presented, it was vacant?
It wasn't vacant, or I guess it says vacant, yeah. The fellow who was selling it was hospitalized. It was occupied, but he wasn't there,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, so he was vacating it, I guess.
Yeah, he
due to
was
illness.
vacating it.
Yeah, okay, so when you viewed it, when did you view it?
I don't know, sometime I guess probably at the beginning of August.
Okay, and what was it listed for, 124.5?
124.5, yeah.
Okay, and so describe to me, you said it was in rough condition, what do you mean by that?
Well, it was, it had a terrible odor in the place because the gentleman that was living there was older and he was a heavy smoker. There was a lot of nicotine smell and staining on the walls, ceiling, carpets as well were beyond repair. So the carpets were removed and laminate flooring and whatever was installed, but
Okay.
that was, it was in rough condition. He was older, and so he had just let go of the property.
Okay, and so you ripped out all the flooring?
Correct.
It kind of looks like you took out the kitchen cabinets?
Yeah, I put in new kitchen cabinets, and same thing with the bathroom vanities as well.
Yeah, okay. So because of the odor, I guess it was completely stripped, primed and repainted?
Yeah, several times,
Yeah.
several times.
Yeah, new flooring put in throughout, new kitchen cabinets, new plumbing fixtures?
Plumbing fixtures like faucets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Vanities?
The vanity as well, yeah, two vanities, and along with the new faucets.
Okay. Anything done to the exterior, or is that,
No.
okay? And the roof was okay? No leakage or anything?
So far, so good.
Okay. And did you hire contractors to do the work, or you did it yourself?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. And you say you think you spent about, let's say $45,000?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay. And does, in your opinion, do the pictures on page 2 of the assessor reflect the current physical condition?
I'm hoping, yeah, I haven't been there for a while, but I'm hoping that the pictures, the current picture, I mean, these pictures are in the same as its current conditions. I have it rented, that's what
Okay.
I'm saying.
Yeah, now what is the rent?
The rent is, where's the rent there? $12.95?
Plus utilities?
Trying to think what no, the water's included, I think it's plus hydro,
Okay.
plus hydro. It's
Ah.
electric heat.
It's electric baseboard heat?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Water's included, parking comes with one parking spot?
Parking is included as well.
Okay. And, how can I put this? Looking at its current physical condition, what do you think you would have sold it for back in April 1st, 2018?
Well, I don't know,
Correct.
because it was never going to be sold.
Yeah, but our job is to estimate the market value of the current physical condition, you see. Let's put it this way, I don't think you'd list it now and sell it for $120,000, would you? No. You're into it for approximately $175,000, $180,000?
Yeah, by the time you factor in, there's other fees as well, right? There's a land transfer tax and legal fees and whatever else,
Okay,
not including my time.
Can I ask one other question, Bob?
of course.
Comparable 3 that the assessor has is number 22, is that right next door to you?
Number 3, what was the question, I'm sorry?
Number 22 is comparable number 3, you're number 21.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Is it right next door then, obviously, is it?
It's most likely the one on the main floor, perhaps. This is a second floor unit.
Oh, you're second floor. Okay,
Correct.
that accounts for a difference here too.
Yeah.
Okay, I wondered if you were familiar with number 22.
No, my guess would be that there really isn't another one. I mean, there might be one around the corner. I don't know, I never went around to check what the numbers were, but I do know that there's, another elderly couple that lives on the main floor, so my guess would be that it's probably the main floor.
Does it have more amenities, like a big patio outside?
Yeah, it's nicer for sure. I mean, yeah, that's the couple of big things, of course, right off the hop is that A, you don't have to work, deal with stairs, and B, you do have the advantage of having the main floor patio and doors and, whatever else.
Okay, I was looking for an accounting for the difference in prices here.
Yeah, well, could be, yeah. My guess would be that main floor units probably are worth more.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Sorry about that.
And, sorry, just to confirm, you're on the second floor?
Correct, yeah.
So you have a balcony,
I have a balcony, yeah, that's
Sunroom.
also reflected here in the pictures, right? So on the last picture of the second page, you can see the staircase going up.
oh, okay, that's the
Yeah.
staircase up to your
Correct,
suite.
yeah, that's at the bottom of the staircase, yeah.
All right, so your sunroom, 3-season sunroom? or-
There's no sunroom,
Okay, it's just a balcony.
there's just an open balcony.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so last question, sir.
Yeah.
What do you want the assessment adjusted to if you think $195,000 is wrong?
Well, based on, I guess I didn't realize that I was here arguing for post-assessment, so now for the next go-around. But in any event, based on its condition as of April 2018, it's 120,000.
But we're reflecting current physical condition, going backwards.
Current, oh, okay,
Yeah, it's current physical condition,
160,000.
160. And you'd sell it for 160 today.
I would not sell it for 160,000 because I'm not intending to sell it.
Okay. Okay. All right, so we're estimating your
I
estimated value.
would ask my daughter permission first because that's for her.
Okay. Okay, very nice. All right, sir. Kara, any requirement for summary?
No.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mikos, are you okay?
I
Okay.
am perfect.
Thank you for appearing.
Thank you.
And you'll hear from us as soon as possible, okay? That
Thank you. Have
concludes
a nice day.
520 Keniston Boulevard,
Have a
Unit
nice day.
21.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, next one on the docket is 3030 Pembina Highway, Unit 807. Sir, come forward, please. So we're doing item number 3 on my page. You got it, Kara?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm number 8, but.
Yeah,
Yeah.
number 8 on my page too, so
Yeah.
you're fine.
Gone up in the world here.
Please state your full name.
Rory Methano,
And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
far as I know, yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello to you.
Now, do we have any evidence presented?
We do.
Okay.
Now, I may be in the same situation as the last fellow. I'm talking about current market prices versus
Okay.
2017. which
Yeah.
is-
I guess it's your first time appearing, so that's okay. We'll hear your arguments and. We have one.
There should be 6 copies there. Or 5, I guess.
For me, okay, thank you, sir. Carrie, you want a minute to review that before we start?
It's all post-reference, so no.
Okay. To be blunt. Okay. Okay. Ms. Capley, when you are ready, 3030 Pembina Highway, unit number 807.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject is known as 0304119260. It is condo number 13. The street address is 807-3030 Pembina Highway. It is in 615 Fort Richmond area. It is a 1977 apartment-style condo. 1 floor, 937 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, a wall unit for air conditioning, and has a balcony. The comparables are all in the same building. They all have the same amenities, other than comparable 3 does not have a balcony. It's got a patio, so that is on the first floor. The sale prices of comparable 1 through 4 range from $170,000 to $174,000. And that was back in 2016, which then would be a time-adjusted sale price of $172,700 to $176,610, a square footage rate of 184.33 to 188.48. The subject property has a 2020 assessment value of $176,000 for a total assessment per square feet of $187.83. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Capley. Just, sir, just bear with me 1 second, please.
Yep.
I'm just gonna make some quick analysis here. Okay. Okay, sir, any questions of the evidence that the assessors presented in her brief?
No, the building went well. I saw quite a few units in there, and
Okay.
and she's accurate.
Okay, thank you.
Except for the time-adjusted sale value.
Okay, Lynn, any questions?
Yeah, I just have a couple. It looks like your comparable number 2 and 4 or on the same floor as the subject property?
Yes, I would assume so.
Just given the numbers?
Mhm, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to confirm that. And have you inspected this property?
No, I have not.
Okay, and so in terms of the finishings of these properties, are they comparable to the best of your knowledge? The interior finishing?
In terms of the comps or the subject?
Are they similar to the subject, the comps?
I don't know what the subject is like. The comps, some of them, there are some dates in the comps and not some updates in the comps.
Okay, so which comps have been updated?
Comparable 3 still has an old kitchen. It has hardwoods. Comparable 2 is carpets. There's an updated kitchen. Comparable 4 is the cupboards were painted white, still carpet. And number 1 is, I'm not sure if the kitchen's been redone. It's a nicer unit with carpet. It's a white kitchen.
That's number 4?
Sorry, number 1.
So it's got an updated kitchen and
Yes.
carpets?
No, not carpet.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know about the carpet.
You don't know, okay, and comp 4, I'm sorry, I missed it.
It's painted, it's still carpet, and the cupboards are painted white. It's existing cupboards, but they're painted white.
Okay. So is carpet considered an upgrade, or is it not an upgrade?
It depends if the carpet's been replaced.
Okay.
Right.
Or
Or
replace
if
it?
it's worn, or, yeah.
Okay.
Because you could replace carpet with carpet, and that's an upgrade, right?
And you're not sure about the subject as to any upgrades?
No, I don't know, I guess the gentleman would be able to
Okay,
tell
yeah, no,
us.
that's fine, we'll
Yeah.
hear from him next. And this 2006 sale is the last one in your records, and it was an open market sale?
That's correct, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lynn. Mr. Upton, any questions of the
No
assessor?
questions right now, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Capley, the only question I have is the location. I'm just looking on the map here. How far down Pembina Highway are we?
It's past the university.
Past, oh yeah, okay.
South of,
Yeah.
okay.
South, okay, and on the east side of Pembina Highway?
Yes, about
Okay.
300 meters from the perimeter.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Baylor, Rochester, okay, I see where we are, Rochester, got it, okay. Okay, got you there. All right, that's my only question. Sir, when you're ready, I guess you presented evidence here from the first appellant, I guess you realize that.
I do not know, yes.
Yeah.
I do agree with that gentleman that the market value, especially in the apartment-style condos, have gone consistently down since 2014. That was our peak year as far as condo sales. They are consistently have been since, since the new condo act came in, they've been coming down, but they're, with the builders building as many condos as they have been, the condo market in general has gone down since 2015, probably close to 15 to 18%. Take it for what it is. I know this is post-dated information, but as you can see by the comparables that I brought, these are all recent sales within the last year. 2 of them I've sold myself, and you're not having anything that really breaks the 165 mark. So, if the current trend continued, which I believe it's going to, unfortunately, I think 2020, these values are probably going to be, probably $5,000 less than what they are now. So,
Ms. Kaplan, any comments on these post-reference sales?
We don't look at these would be for the next assessments.
Yeah.
yes, and I understand that now, so. Long story short, next year you'll get it right, and these market values will be much lower. I won't be here.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, yes.
Okay.
Just if you went by percentage, if you're looking at these values of 2016, 2017, if you go on average, you're dropping about, and I said 15 to 18%, it's probably even more than that, but last year they would have been halfway in between these values and these values.
Okay, so I'll ask you, what do you think the assessment should be if 176 is wrong?
I would think, and I'm thinking probably the current state of my unit, which is middle of the road. I still have some, probably the existing carpet, but I updated the kitchen 15 years ago or so. I did some flooring in there, but it's got the original bathroom in it pretty much with some minor updates. I would say it's probably in the 165, range, give or take, so.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Kara, I figured I might as well ask while we're there. So do you have any questions of the appellant?
And you just said, no, you mentioned the current conditions, some renovations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some
Yeah.
new flooring in there, but there's a lot of original stuff. The concrete building, there's not a lot of desire to change anything other than a few cosmetics, right?
Yeah.
So, it's not like they allow me to take out walls.
Anything else, Kara?
No.
Thank you. Bob, any questions of the appellant?
I don't really have any, but you were the buyer in like 2006, were you?
Yes.
Okay, and you've done upgrades since then, as you've mentioned.
When I first purchased the property, I pretty much gutted the interior of it, put down new floors except for the bedrooms where the carpet was just cleaned. Bathrooms, got some updated fixtures and stuff like that, but generally it was pretty much the same, new flooring. Kitchen was a complete gut, put all brand new cupboards and new stove and stuff like that, but that's 15 years ago, so it's old now.
Yeah,
So-
I understand that, yeah, okay. And are you familiar with these listed prices you gave us here?
I am
These locations?
familiar with, I haven't been in all of them, but, through sales on other units, I have definitely done my comparable market analysis on those units as well to be able to come up with, accurate values, so.
Oh, thank you.
So I would have looked at all the pictures and, been in a couple of them, so. And I sort of couldn't tell you which ones they are because that was a few years ago now, so.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks, Bob. Lynn, any questions?
I have no questions, thanks.
Okay, sir, my questions are, any recent mechanical upgrades to the building?
To the building itself,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I know they put some carpet in the hallway. I think they did some
Major
lighting.
mechanical?
None that I know of.
Okay.
Not that- We haven't had any assessment on the property as far as like a special assessment,
Okay.
so anything that would have been taken care of would have been just general maintenance.
Yeah. Do you have underground parking or is it outdoor?
It's sign parking. You don't own it. It's part of the condo for you, so.
And is it underground though?
No.
No, all outdoors?
Yeah, it's all,
Okay.
there is parkade area, but it's open parkade.
Yeah.
But there's only about 20 stalls there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How much are your condo fees?
I believe they're about $450.
Does that include?
Everything pretty much except landline telephone.
Okay. All right. And is it electric baseboard?
Yes.
Okay, and that's included in the condo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is cable, so is, the internet's not, I guess, so internet and landline telephone. So.
Yeah, okay. All right. Kara, any requirement for summary?
No.
You're good. Okay, sir? Anything else you'd like to say? I think you've told us everything.
No, I think that's pretty much is what it is, and,
And you're asking us to revise it to 165,000.
well, it's gonna be there next year, so I don't want to do it now.
Okay.
Not next
Okay.
year, 2021.
Yeah, 2020.
2021,
Or
okay.
2022, right,
Yeah.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, leave it with us and you'll hear from us as soon as possible.
Thank you much.
That concludes 3030 Pembina Highway, Unit 807.
I think this is where my order gets different than yours.
Yeah,
Which
mine
one's
too,
next?
so.
These are all different. That's a 114.
Now, next one on the docket is 85 Academy Road, Unit 103. Have you got that, Kara?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody got it?
Yeah.
So we've got item number 4, yeah, so we're in kind of in order here, okay. Is there somebody here from 85 Academy Road?
Yes.
Unit 103, come on forward, sir. Thank you.
about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You have evidence?
Thank you. Thank you. That's for us and the assessor. Okay. Kara, take a moment to review that, and whenever you're ready, you can start, but take your time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 12-09, 12-0976935500. It is a condo number of 580. It is the address of 103-85 Academy Road. It is 631 Wellington Crescent is the area. It is an apartment style with an effective age built of 2007, year built. It has one floor, a total living area of 1,315 square feet, one bedroom, one full bath, one half bath, one shower, and central air conditioning. Comparable 1 through 4 are similar size within close proximity and similar amenities. Comparable 1 is in the exact same building, while the other 3, as I said, are relatively all similar. The sales prices of the comparables range from $297,500 all the way up to $405,000. It has a time-adjusted sale price of $298,000 to $407,025, a square footage rate of 288.29 to 275.58. Our subject property has a 2020 assessment roll of $369,000 and a total assessment per square feet of $280.61. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kepley. Sir, Mr. Merrifield? No, wrong one. Sorry, I'm sorry. I've lost the listing. Sorry. Mr. Ansari?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Any questions of the assessor's evidence presented in her brief?
Yes. How do you take into account the condo common elements in your various pricing?
You know what, that's a question I don't know the answer to.
Second question, since a lot of people here already have discussed whether the market is going up or down, regardless of where you think it is, it's up or down, if a sale happened post your date, knowing the approximate percentages, it's very easy to work backwards and make an allocation. So let's say if the city claims that it's going up 1.5% a year, then you can easily work back 2 years and deduct 3%, etc. Am I correct or not?
I have no idea what you're asking, because the post, we can't be current for current, so we're always 2 years behind. So this
Really?
reference period is April 1st, 2016 to April 1st, 2018, which is reflected in the 2020 assessment.
Yes.
And then it'll be 2 years after that. So as you're saying it's gone down, it'll be reflected then. For this time period, the market showed that it
But
increased. We
that's-
don't look at post-reference.
I realize that, but I'm asking you a question. If you did look at post-reference, would it not be easy to work backwards?
But we
just
don't,
as
so
easy?
I can't
I
answer
realize
that
you don't do
question.
that, but you could do that.
I think she's answered the question, that they've used these 2 years where the compos come from to develop the model that estimates the market value on the property, and they don't go past that. They'll use the post-reference sales in the next reassessment to develop the model. If there's an indication that the market is going down, they'll adjust it accordingly. You know, they'll estimate the market value up or down next time based on the selling evidence.
Well,
But you can argue otherwise in your presentation.
I will.
Yeah, okay.
because it's,
Anything else to ask the assessor?
no,
Now, take your time if you've got something else.
no.
Okay, thank you, sir. Lynn, any questions of the assessor?
And have you inspected this property?
No.
Can you tell us about the interior finishings of the property, good quality? better
Good
than-
quality, yeah.
Good. Is that similar to your comparables? or-
The one on Academy would be, I'm not sure, well, I'm imagining the ones on Wellington, but I don't know.
Okay. There's a sale of 2012, that was a market sale?
Yes.
Okay. I see you brought the location of the other homes, so that's good, I appreciate that, not knowing exactly where everything is. That's fine, thank you.
Thanks, Lynn. Mr. Upton, any questions of the assessor?
Yes, you said comparable ones in the same building. Would that be the most comparable of what you've listed here?
Well, that would be, yes.
That would be you rely on that more than the others?
Not necessarily, because the square footage size is smaller, but this one is in the specific building.
Would you not think that Wellington Crescent is a somewhat better location than Academy Road?
Not necessarily, because this building's, I'm familiar with the building, and it's pretty superior to.
It's a high-traffic area, though.
Yeah, it is a high-traffic area,
Right
but
across
so is
from,
Wellington Crescent.
Yeah, right across from the school.
Yeah.
Can I ask an additional question of the gentleman?
Of course,
Asked?
yeah.
Have you looked at the properties that are exactly adjacent to this 85 Academy?
I know which properties are adjacent, yes.
Okay, can you
But
describe them, or shall
No,
I?
she hasn't presented evidence of that, so,
No, but since we discussed the
but
neighborhoods.
you can bring it up in your presentation, okay? Yeah. Anything else, Bob?
So it's very similar to the other one in the building, except for square footage.
I'm not sure of the interior finishes.
Have you looked at both of these?
No.
You haven't looked at them?
No, not interior.
Okay, thank you, that's it for now.
Thank you, Mr. Upton. Okay, Ms. Capley, so we're located, the subject of the property is just before, on the north side of Academy, facing St. Mary's Academy. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, just before Stafford, right?
A brick building, yeah, with underground parking.
Yeah, it's got underground parking, yeah, okay. And the sale in 2012, that was probably, no, that was a resale, I guess, or this apartment took a while, or this condo unit took a while to build, didn't it? So that might have been a second sale, possibly in the unit, but anyway, we'll determine that with the appellant, I guess. Okay, so underground parking, the comp number one is selling for more per square foot, time adjusted, but it is smaller. So we've got economy of scale in play there, I guess, a little bit, but you're $36 a square foot less, okay. That's my only questions. Okay, sir,
All right.
when you are ready, please.
I'm ready. So I have a summary of my points as well as some additional evidence as far as what I have regarding this particular building, and a little bit of history, because this building, it's got 14 units, except the units in the building range as small as 744 square feet to as much as 4,500 square feet. There's a huge disparity in size. Now, when the condo building was built in 2007, 2008, some condos were finished in 7 and 8, and some in 8. The developer incorporated the Condo Corp 580, and I guess on the advice of the real estate broker, which I personally know as well, who sold me the unit in the first place, they decided to make all the condo common element fees identical at 7.14%. That means the condo that's 744 square feet pays the exact same condo fee as the one that's 4,500 square feet. Now, they didn't do this to be nice to anybody, except they wanted to sell. And that reduces the cost of ownership on the large units and makes them more palatable for a sale. That was the main thing. So unfortunately, these fees, when they were low, nobody really paid that much attention to them. So when they were in the $250, everybody goes, doesn't matter. Well, the current fees have already doubled, but that's the start of it. The 2018 Reserve Study Fund study showed that the current deficiency for 2019 is $340,000. And it also states the 2018, which is around 300 and some odd thousand dollars shortfall. So that unfortunately affects the smaller units to a greater percentage of the value as the larger unit. So you have a unit that's 4,500 square feet and $2 million, or $1.5 million, whatever it is, assess that, or the market price, 24,000 to that value means nothing. To a much smaller unit, it makes a bigger difference. And so that's one point. Now, in late 2016, early 2017, unit number 6, there's a legal number on these units, and then there is the actual 103, 104s. Unit number 6, which is also unit 202, at one time it was 204, is identical to my unit. It's right on top of my unit. It's the same square footage, and that gentleman bought the unit probably in the early 2011s, 2010s, and around 2015 had about $35,000 of upgrades done, major interior upgrades, including changing walls and so on. And he put this unit up for sale in late 2017 for $369,000, which, based on all this, seems to have been the figure everybody thought it would want to sell at. The unit sat, let me just add, can we go, I'll just continue. I have attached the unit plans, so you can actually look at the unit plans. If you want to look at them now, you may do so.
What page would you be on? I
I
guess.
didn't number the pages, so
Okay.
the first set of drawings,
Yeah,
I did X1, X2, there's unit 2 and unit 6. Unit 2 is my unit, 103,
is
and
that,
unit
is
6
that
is,
X1?
yeah, is X1.
Okay.
And level 2 is unit X2, which is the unit 6, which is the unit that was for sale. Which is, as you can see from the drawings and the detailed drawings on the next 2 pages, that they are pretty well identical, size, shape, and facing the same direction. And I've attached the study, reserve fund study summary, as well as a couple of pages so you can see the estimated deficiency for 2018 at 302, as well as a chart on the last page which shows the deficiency as the year is ongoing if we keep increasing the condo fees only modestly every year. So basically what it's pointing, unfortunately, to the market is that these units have a problem. And the problem being is their common fee elements are just too high. If I look, there's a chart just before the drawings, if you refer to the chart. It's just before the drawings. I've put all the square footage of all the different condos in that building together. And in my case, my actual percentage of the total is 4.72, yet I'm paying 7.14%, which means almost 51% more in condo fees than if there was an equitable allocation. So that's a point, unfortunately, that it's hurting the sale of the condo. Now, the condo right on top of me was on sale in 2017 for over 8 months, and I've added a copy of one of the first ads that are still online. You can see the summary and it was listed at 369. There are additional ones I have that I can get that are like at 249 and lower. So basically, the unit did not sell. It was rented out on a short-term basis in 2018 till about October, November, then it was put back on the market at a lower price. So in 2018, it went as low as 329. It did not sell. It did finally sell in mid-2019 at $300,000. The printout is from the Sabre Winnipeg sold property, and it's number first item, and it's 202 condo unit 6, and it says sale price is $300,000. So my last point was that based above history and the condo court fee structure and the average City of Winnipeg condo price increase, and I assume that increase, which is not always true, of 1.5%, even if you did an annual, brought back the value to 2016, it actually would be lower, not higher. This is also a picture of my view of my bedroom window. And my bedroom window is looking at a dumpster and a transformer. Now, the unit that's sold on top of me has no obstruction in his view. That's the real difference right now between the two units. So that's basically my.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Ms. Kaplan, have any questions of the appellant?
Okay, yes. So just to confirm, you live in the unit?
Hey,
Yeah, okay, and you're talking about how the condo fees are not structured properly. Have you tried to sell your unit specifically?
I have not, but I know other people have tried.
Yeah. Okay, and,
Larger units sell quite well.
pardon me?
The larger units have sold quite well.
Yeah,
Recently,
this
the
property
last
was
3 or
also
4
rented
years.
to some Jets players, right?
Pardon?
This property was also rented to some Jets
Parts of
players.
it was.
Yeah.
Like my condo was, before it was the first owner, the original developer rented it to one of the hockey players.
Yeah.
Played hockey on the floor, yes. Scratched it up nicely.
Yeah. Now, those condo fees, I mean, unfortunately, they don't really have to do with the assessments here. The sales support them, but just out of curiosity, have you guys like gone to the condo corp or anything? Can anything
Oh,
be done
yes.
about that, or where
Yes,
does
we've
it
tried.
stand?
70% of the owners are in favor. They have the smaller units or an average size units, and they're in favor of changing it. Unfortunately, the latest legislation says you gotta have 80% majority, so all it takes is 3 of those people, and you're at 79% and you lose. So there's 4 or 5 larger units there, therefore, you cannot pass it. And we have tried.
Okay.
But it's, as the fees are going up, and we've had 2 special assessments already, it's bringing the value of the smaller condos down. And that's the problem in this building. And it's very uncommon that it's not a fair person. Every other condo corp in Winnipeg that I know of, unless they're almost identical in size, pays a differential fee based on size. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but this is how this one was. And unfortunately, it's extremely difficult to change.
Interesting. Okay, and you don't face Academy, you face the back lane then? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Kara. Lynn, any questions of the appellant?
No, I have no questions, thank you.
Thank you. Bob, any questions?
Yeah, you're on the main floor then, are you?
I am.
And the unit above you is
Yes.
shown here as well, okay. Yeah, what price are you asking us to put on this unit? What assessment are you asking
A
for?
fair assessment going back. If the market has increased over the last 2 years, then ought to be less than 300. If the market has decreased, as some people here have suggested, you can work it out as well. I'm not the real estate expert. A lot of people say certain markets, areas have decreased, certain areas, like definitely, if it was a normal detached house, prices have gone up. But certain condominiums, I know, have gone down. That's my but I assume the city, based on their assessment that I've seen over the years, keeps going up, so they assume it's always going up.
So you don't have an idea what the assessed value should be in your mind?
Yeah, I say 300 or less.
300 or less, okay, that's what you're asking for, okay? And this unit that eventually sold for 300, that was post-reference years, we understand. It sold for 300,000?
Yes.
And was this the same size as your unit?
It's identical to my unit.
What's
The
identical?
drawings are attached, so
Is it,
exact same form, same bedroom area, everything is identical.
is it on the second floor?
Second floor, the only difference is we had both original finishes. He upgraded his finish
Okay,
and added $35,000 into his condo and then tried to sell it. He's taking a loss is really what he's doing.
but he's on the second floor, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, and you're on the main floor, okay.
I am.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thanks, Bob. Okay, sir, let's look at the picture you've got on page 2. Was that the view you had when you purchased it in 2012?
I purchased that one, I don't even remember when it was.
The assessor's showing a sale in 2012.
12? Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, that is the same view.
so that was the view there when you bought it, yeah.
I had sold my house and to a marriage breakdown, and I was urgently needing a place, and I guarantee I overpaid, but so did the guy above me, because he bought 6 or 8 months later, and he's taken a loss since then. Unfortunately, part of it has to do with the way the common fees are structured in this building. They're just making it, as the fees goes up, the value drops down.
Yeah.
Because people always look at the total exposure they have. And on a smaller per square foot basis, you're losing.
Yeah. Okay, so the size of your unit is approximately 1,300 square feet?
Yes.
Are you kind of in the middle average size in the building? You said it went from
No,
approximately...
the average size
Okay.
is 2,000.
Average size is 2,000.
I have, the list is right there. You can do a mental average.
Oh, yeah,
if you
okay,
do it.
okay,
So there's,
yeah.
see, there's a lot of 2,300, 2,500, 2,800, 4,500, 2,200,
1,700.
1,800, 1,700. So I would say I'm on much smaller than the average.
Okay, and there's one at 744, that's the
Who's
point.
taking
The
a
only
real
one,
brunt.
right? Yeah, one little corner or something, yeah. Okay, so you paid $343,000 in 2012. That was when it was that a resale or was that when it was developed? That was a second time sale?
No. The building went through a builder bankruptcy.
Yeah,
Some company in Alberta took it over and finished it.
Yeah.
I bought it from them.
okay.
They could not sell these units. My unit was for sale for about over a year.
Uh-huh.
So they had rent, or a year and a half, they had rented it to Moose and then Jets people. And so I bought it basically as the first owner, but a used apartment.
Yeah, okay,
But
yeah,
they did paint it and made it, look reasonably good
okay.
after the hockey
So it was
players.
offered in the open market and you paid?
It was often in the open market, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I paid what they were asking. I didn't,
Okay.
I basically needed the place and I liked the building.
And one of the attractions for that side of a unit was the low condo fee?
At the time, it was low,
Yeah.
but it was fake low.
Yeah, possibly artificially low, okay. And nobody, I guess when you went to purchase, your legal help didn't point out that there was this,
At that time, things were different. There was not as much disclosure.
okay,
So, and I used the same agent that was the seller's agent. I didn't even have my own agent.
okay,
So I'm sure he
yeah,
didn't volunteer that information.
yeah, okay. And that's still in place
Just,
because of that 80% rule for change, okay. And,
And we tried changing it and we lost, so there's no,
Yeah.
right now, the only way is if someone makes a court application.
So what is your condo fee right now?
Right now, it's $450, or no, we upped it to $475, but it's basically, I'm on the board, so
You are, okay.
I know that it's
Oh, okay.
we're planning to go to about 600-700
Yeah,
in the next year.
yeah, that was my next question. So we've got a deficiency here in the reserve fund.
And we're trying to make the gap.
Yeah.
Ideally, the guy that owns a 4,500 square foot ought to adding up a little more, but he's not willing to do so. And at this point, we have 3 lawyers in the building, and all of them occupy the large condos.
Oh.
So guess what? You can argue with a lawyer,
Yeah.
you lose.
Okay, but in regards to the reserve fee, it sounds like you're gonna be taking some action to slowly build it up.
But we have no choice.
Yeah, no kidding, yeah, that's scary.
So at this point, the roof needs some heavy repairs or replacement.
Being on that board, are there rules that reserve fees have to be a certain amount?
As a board, we're trying to institute that, but the reserve fund study was the first start to
Yeah, yeah.
try to. So what we did last year, for example, we said we needed more money, so we made a special assessment specifically for the reserve fund. It wasn't used on any repairs.
Okay.
It was actually done on purpose to put into the reserve fund.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we plan to do that every year,
Okay.
make a special assessment. But all these things, unfortunately, doesn't help the value.
Is there a rule in the Condo Act that requires a certain amount of?
The Condo Act says the board needs to satisfy itself that it's doing the right thing,
Oh, okay,
implying that if you don't, then you're liable in some sort as well.
yeah,
As well, think about it, 10 years from now, if we have no, not sufficient funds, you want to do a $100,000 or $150,000 window upgrade, are you going to do that? And at this point, the windows are not even part of each condo, they're part of the common elements. So the guy with a 4,500 square foot building, or condo has about 15 windows.
Yeah.
I have 2.
okay. Wow.
Not fair, but that's the way it is.
Okay, so Ms. Capley, have you ever, what's your opinion on when this kind of thing is going on in the
I
market
have
and
no
affecting the
idea.
market value of the unit? Yeah.
That's too bad, it's sad, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful building.
It's a unique
So,
circumstance, isn't it?
yeah, it's very unique, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
It's a beautiful building and
okay. All right, and you're asking us to reduce it to a maximum of $300,000 because of the impact of these.
Yes, and I'm showing you that I'm not far off, the value is not there at the moment for my particular condo. I wish it was different, but it's
is
not.
there any chance that they'd ever make it just, this, like combine 2 small units or something, like going forward then? If there's a number of small units? and
They're
one
not
is big?
designed to be
No.
together, so the only option, the building, the condo that's, for example, 4,500 square feet, has 2 stories. It's huge, it has cathedral ceilings like 25 feet tall.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it, it's
And they're
beautiful.
paying $450, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're laughing, unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. We tried.
All right, well, thank you for appearing. We'll consider all your evidence here, and you'll hear from us as soon as possible, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
I think we're gonna recess for about 10 minutes because we got an unusual circumstance with the washrooms being out here. Are they still out, Karen?
The sign's not on the doors.
Oh, it's fixed. Oh, okay. Oh, good, okay, yeah, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, how's that? Yeah, and we'll come back at, what time is it? 2:15.
Are you the?
Thanks, Katie. I'll call the hearing back to order now. Next property on the docket is 80 Barn Street, Unit 213, ma'am. Come forward, please.
She didn't speak for anything.
Okay.
And I spoke to her and her interpreter earlier.
Yeah.
So she went, what's on the
Okay, now, is the interpreter here?
She said, "Why'd you come here?" But I said, it's best if she comes. And, her English is not
Should we?
good. She won't be able to.
Thanks,
Do our
Katie.
best.
All right.
Okay.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah,
Could you swear her in, please? Katie, thanks.
Swear you in. So you can stand up. Okay. So do you swear that the evidence that you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You do? Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Does the appellant, do you have any evidence to present?
She has already.
I have.
We've got it here? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
In front of the assessor as well. It's more of a.
Organize this. This one? Okay. All right. Thanks, Tim. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right, okay. Ms. Kepley, did you see this? It's kind of rebuttal. Did you have this in your package with the
Yeah,
handwritten?
yeah, it's what I
Yeah.
presented, right, and then she just made some notes, and it's
Yeah.
about the taxes.
Yeah,
Not
Yeah.
all.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, on the back page, I was looking.
Oh,
at the
I was looking on
taxes.
the front page.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. Are you able to understand everything that the assessor's gonna say in English?
Just a little bit, not much.
Okay.
So, my friend come with me, but she have something coming up.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
left, she tell.
Okay. Okay,
Please,
we'll,
yeah.
we'll go slowly, and don't hesitate, if you have any
Yeah.
questions, just ask the panel or me, and we'll try and resolve it
Do
for
you
you, okay?
understand what I was reading when I read
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
I little bit, but some, I don't understand.
Okay,
So-
well, the assessors provided the brief to you of her evidence,
Yeah,
and she's gonna go through that right now, okay?
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property has a parcel ID of 0309298960. It is 982 is the condo number. It has a street address of 213-80 Barnes Street. 637 Fairfield Park is the neighborhood area. It is an apartment-style condo built in 2015. It is a one-floor, 720 square feet, one bedroom, one bath with central air conditioning and a balcony sunroom. The condo, the comparables are all within the same complex or the neighboring buildings, 70 and 80. They are all pretty much the same. They're the same building, the same size, the same number of baths, bedrooms, air conditioning, etc. The prices range on the comparables from $220,000 to $237,000, which is a time adjustment of $221,000 to $239,000. Per square foot, it's an average rate of $307.69 to $332.46. The subject property has a 2020 assessment roll of $228,000 for a total assessment per square feet of $316.67. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kepley. Okay, so did you understand the assessor in the brief? She's detailed all the characteristics of your condo. It shows the assessment for 2020 at $228,000. For analysis, that's $316.67 a square foot. And it's showing, documenting a sale or a purchase, of the property in 2015 for $199,847. Do you understand that so far? That's all the details of your property.
Yeah.
Okay, and then she's provided 4 comparables. She's gone into the marketplace and she's pulled 2 from your complex at 80 Barnes Street, comp number 1, and 80 Barnes Street, comp number 4. Comps number 2 and 3 are at 70 Barnes Street, which I guess is right next door to your property. They're all built about the same time, 2014 to 2015. They're all exactly the same square footage, 720 square feet. Got the same bedroom count. All got central air. They all have a balcony. No garages documented for this property. And then if we go to the bottom, she's got the sales information. If you go to the second bottom one, time adjusted sale price per square foot, her market evidence comes up at $307.69 at the bottom end to to $332.46 at the top end. She's assessing you at $316.67. So she's saying, based on market evidence, your assessment at $316 a square foot seems correct compared to the comparable sales that she's presented. Does that make sense? Okay, okay. And then you've provided a, you've taken the assessor's brief that she presented, and you've made notes on it. Are you able to read those notes to us? Like, would you like to highlight what your argument is for
Yeah,
the assessment?
Yeah, I just like to know, last year, this year is $300.
Property taxes, okay.
Yeah, so,
We don't deal with property taxes here. The assessment does drive the amount of taxes due when the mill rate is applied, but what we want to look at is probably what you're writing down here at the bottom, okay? So would you like to go through what you've documented here? Or should I review it with the panel for you? I'll read it out, what you've written, or somebody's written here, okay? Okay, so, should we go through this? Comp number one, 1, 2, 3, 4, what is going on here? 1, 2, okay, I see. Okay, so comp number 4, item number 2, at the bottom of comp number 2, she's saying that the market was good at that time in 2016, okay? Item number 3, that the market was still good in 2017, that's comp number 2. Comp number 1, she's saying that 1 and 3, right. Comp number 1 and 3, that they're high level penthouses and they're more expensive than others, and that's indicated by the market selling price per square foot. And then in 2017, so she tried to sell it in 2017 at $220,000 to $230,000, and it was on the MLS. However, she couldn't sell it in 2017 between $220,000 and $230,000. So she marketed it. I'm not sure why there's a range here. Maybe it was originally listed at $230,000. The listing was reduced to $220,000, I think. Would that be right? You had originally listed at $230,000 in 2017? $230,000? 220 on the MLS that you tried to sell it?
yeah,
Okay, and you had no offers?
no.
Okay, so that's your argument. You tried to sell it for $220,000 and had no offers. So you feel that the assessment at $228,000 is too high based on that attempt to sell it for a lower price. Is that fair? Do you understand what I think that's what you, or somebody's written here for you, okay? Okay, at a bit of a disadvantage here, but, so,
Yeah, I don't know if she tried to sell her unit, because I don't have it showing on MLS.
Oh,
I do
okay.
have that her unit, when she bought it in 2015, was on the market for quite a long time. They were asking $228,900, and she bought it
okay.
for so maybe that's what that means, I don't know.
It refers to 2017.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a different attempt.
Unless somebody else was trying to sell, I don't know.
yeah.
Do you
okay.
live in the unit?
No,
No, you rent the unit out?
yeah.
And, okay.
Go ahead.
And how much money do you get for the rent there?
Right now, 1,180.
Okay.
1180, yeah. Okay. Kara, anything else? Okay. Bob, any questions of the appellant?
No, I don't think so, thank you.
Okay. Lynn?
No, No questions.
Okay. Okay, so my question to you is, what do you think the assessment should be? It's assessed at $228,000 now. You paid approximately $200,000 in 2015. And you seem to think that this assessment is wrong at $228,000. So what do you think the assessment, what are you asking the board to adjust the assessment to?
I just like to know, last year with this year, about $300 more.
In taxes,
Yeah.
okay?
So maybe 50 is okay, but too much for me.
Yeah.
Paying 300, yeah. So,
Do you remember what your last assessment was?
and 21586.
Oh, that's the taxes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's tax.
okay, we'll figure it
No, we'll ask.
out. Okay. Okay, so would it be fair to say that you're asking us to reduce it to 220,000? The assessment?
This year,
Mm-hmm.
in same year, I don't.
Yeah, you'd understand, okay. Okay, I think we've got okay, you're saying that the property taxes went up $300 a year. Obviously, the assessment went up, the mill rate changed a little bit, but, okay, I think we've got an idea. I hope I'm interpreting this right for you. Okay, I see, yeah, that's your argument, okay. Okay, Carrie, any comments? Yeah, okay. Okay, leave it with us. And was there anything else you'd like to tell us other than the tax bill?
Tax bill?
Yeah, other than the tax bill. We don't want to talk about the tax bill. You know what, leave it with us, okay? And we'll, based on the information you're presented, we'll make our decision, okay?
Oh,
Okay, ma'am, okay.
okay, I left here,
Yeah, you can leave now. Yeah,
I can go,
yes,
Yeah.
so.
You'll get it in the mail.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll decide, we'll meet in camera after this, after everybody's left, and we'll make a decision, and we'll mail out the decision as soon as possible, and you'll get it in writing, okay?
Yeah, because, I just talking about $300 is too much for me. Maybe
Yeah.
$50 is okay,
Okay.
but too much.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for
you.
appearing,
Okay,
bye-bye, and
thank
you can leave now.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Yeah, please.
thanks.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next property on the docket is 811 Grosvenor Avenue, Unit 401. Come forward. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Do you have any evidence to present to us? Okay.
How many? Five. Okay.
Swear you are, do you swear or affirm?
Affirm.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's
State your full name.
Jane Schulman.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Right there, I think, for everybody. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Okay. If you'd like to review that,
That one's got writing all over the bottom.
Ms. Kepley.
What's that on the bottom?
Maybe it's the wrong
Oh,
one.
I think I gave you the wrong
Yeah,
one.
it's
with
the
my
wrong
notes
one.
on it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Your
Yeah.
notes, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Don't want to get ahead of myself here.
Yeah. You'll have no speaking notes.
That's it.
Okay, Ms. Kepley, once you reviewed that, if you'd like to proceed with 811 Grosvenor Avenue, Unit 401, please.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I'm not sure if you're aware, I'll just do a brief thing. The appellant's actually here for an increase in value.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
So we have a
so-
preliminary-
Yes,
Wanna
it is
shake
different.
things up a
This
little
is
for
my
you?
first
Okay,
one.
so we have a
So I
preliminary.
have spoken to the appellant on the telephone, so I was not able to help her in the office, so we are here to let the board decide what to
Okay.
do, so
Okay,
I will just read through this, I guess, okay?
okay,
Are you sure you understand what you're asking for and what it's gonna do?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
okay,
I will tell you the story and you'll understand too.
okay,
okay.
all right.
Okay, the subject property has a parcel ID of 12,022,566,100, a condo number of 71. The condo address is 401-811 Grosvenor Avenue. It is a neighborhood area of 601 Crescentwood. The apartment style is a year built of 1961, and I'm not sure, sorry, I apologize on your brief, whether it shows an effective age of 1970 or 1971. It should be 71, it was corrected, but I'm not sure what your brief shows. It is one floor with a total living area of 980 square feet. There are 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, and a balcony sunroom. Now, the comparables that support it, we don't have sales to support a higher assessment. That's why we are here. So the sales we do have, we have 1 that was actually in the building of the subject property, and the other 3 are within close proximity that you can see from the map. I do have the sale included here that was purchased in 2017. The appellant will go over what she's done to the unit. The sales range here from the comparable 2, 193.5 to comparable 4, 254,000. A time adjusted of $196,016 to $254,000. It is a price per square feet of 206.33 to 241.90. The subject property of Grosvenor has a 220 assessment roll of 227,000 with a total assessment of 231.63. Now, originally we had this property at 222,000, and Ms. Schulman came into the 311 or the inquiry program, and she did advise that she spent $25,000 on new flooring and painting. So at that time, the assessor did up the value from 222 to 227,000 for 2020. And she'll go into everything else. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kepley. Ms. Schulman, any questions of the assessor, or we just?
Are you familiar with the condition of comps 2, 3, and 4?
No, I'm not.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Upton?
No, I don't have any right now.
Not ready back yet.
You dying to know the story?
We are.
Me too.
All right.
Yes.
Lynn, any questions?
No, I think I need to understand the
It's
circumstances.
unusual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ms. Kepley, so we are on Grosvenor, north side, just past the split of Wellington Crescent, I believe.
That's
Is that
exactly right.
Okay, I know where you are. All right, and then we've got some photos, Ms. Kepley, with, what would these be from? Which,
This is from the sale that occurred in 2017.
okay,
Yeah.
and you made a comment that the owner attended the preview program last spring, I guess, and as a result of that, was the age variant added at that time?
Yes, it
And that
was.
resulted in a difference of $5,000 in assessment?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, got it.
I'm sorry, what was the value of the improvements that you had mentioned?
At that time, she'll go over it more specifically, but it was, we were advised of new flooring and painting.
And it was $25,000.
That's what we were advised, so it was an increase of $5,000.
We'll find out right away. Yeah. Okay. That's all the questions. So, Ms. Schulman, when you are ready, please.
Sure. So I realize we're in a bit of a different situation, and it is quite different. Most of the people you've heard from today are investors who are renting out their properties, and this is our home. This is a building that we adore. It's a historically relevant, architecturally beautiful building, first of its kind. That was when it was built in 1961. The way that it was constructed was the first for Canada, actually. And so most of the people who live in the building lived there since it was converted to a condo in the early 80s. Most of our neighbors have lived there for 30-plus years. Very few units go on the market. When we bought the unit, we moved to Winnipeg 4 years ago. We rented in the building for a while, bought a unit somewhere else, and then ended up selling that unit and buying a unit when one became available in this building because we wanted to live there so badly. It was assessed at that time at $243,000. The photos that you have are the before and the after, if you will. When we bought the unit, it was one of these units that had been occupied by someone for 30-plus years. It had been vacant for some time because the woman who lived there had had a fall, and she was in a residence for some time, and so it was in pretty significant disrepair when we bought the unit, which is why we also, it was her son who was selling, looking to unload it. We got a very good price, and we decided at that time to invest a significant amount of money. So initially, we did invest upwards between $20,000 and $25,000, and then to do the work on completely new flooring. Every surface was painted. We updated the kitchen, updated the bathroom. At the same in that same period that we're talking about, the assessment period, there was a project that had already been planned by the condo to use reserve funds to renovate, totally drill down and renovate the balconies to make them safer than they had been. They hadn't been touched, I don't think, since 1961. And now we have just paid a $30,000 assessment to replace the windows. Things in this building cost a lot more than they do in other buildings because it's a historically relevant building, and there's a desire to keep to the mid-century modern aesthetic. So the reason I'm asking, what I'm asking for actually is that the assessment remain unchanged. So the 243 that it was, I would just like it to stay that way. I believe that this assessment, because there are so few comps, one of the comps is our own sale, which was, as I explained, at a significant discount from market value at the time. And the other sale, Unit 501, I'm actually very familiar with that one as well. It's immediately above us, and the woman who was living in that unit got a job out of province, moved, and it was vacant for about a year. So again, it was a situation where someone in the building, a family member of that person, bought the unit. It was sort of, the word was going around when we were renting, before we actually bought. We weren't in a position yet to buy. People were knocking on doors saying, do you know anybody? Because this woman will take basically anything you offer. And so the 227 is not probably what the market value would have been at that time. It was if it had sat for a little bit longer, or if there had been more opportunity for people to come in and have a look at it, I think it was something that just really needed to sell. So the two comps in the building, as it turns out, are people who just really needed to unload the property, and as a result, the sales are pretty low. I think, I couldn't find photos of comps 2 and 3, but comp 4 at 55 Nassau, while I was during the recess, I found a video of the sale, when they were trying to sell it, and that is a fully updated unit. So I think that comp is probably the most relevant of the 4 here. To explain why I'd like, I guess the question of the hour is why would I like a higher assessment? And it's because we want to build equity in our home. We don't intend to leave, but we do realize, based on this condo that we sold a couple of years ago, that the first thing in a buyer's market that buyers say, and their agents say, is that the assessment is X and you're asking X, and it's almost impossible, as you've heard today, to sell for the assessed value, and it's unheard of to sell for more than the assessed value. So my concern, if the assessment is to stay at 227, is that maybe over time it will increase, but as you've heard from the other people who've spoken today, it's a difficult market. And so I think it might take many years, many more assessments. I'm not sure how many properties might sell in our building in the meantime for the assessment to come back up to the 243 that it was at when we bought it and before we put in $50,000. Just a note that there has been one sale, and it was not during the assessment period. It was about 3 or 4 months ago, so it's not entirely relevant. But it's a similar unit to ours, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, almost the same layout, sold for $345,000. And there are 2 1-bedroom units on the market right now for $232,900 and $239,000. And as you can see on the last page of the handout, Again, they're not part of the assessment period, so I understand that they're not directly relevant, but you can see that just before, these are the sales immediately before the two that are used as ours and the one that's used as a comp. These are the 3 sales before that, and you can see that it's based on the one that has just sold and the 3 that sold before. There's kind of a blip when it just so happens that we were in the right place at the right time and got a great deal, but I don't necessarily think it reflects the market value of the building, and I don't really think that the assessment should be based on that. Perhaps I went on for too long, I hope not.
Oh, no.
I tend to do that.
You're good. You're good. Makes our day interesting. Always a different story. Yeah. And yours is the unique one of the week, I think, so far.
Maybe of the month?
Yeah, so far. Okay, I'm just doing a quick analysis here.
Can I ask a couple questions?
Kara, of course, yeah, if
Okay.
you'd like to ask, yeah.
The comp one then, what state was that in when that sold then? Like you said, it wasn't on the market, it was a family member, was it in rough shape too,
Very
or-
similar to ours.
Okay.
In fact, you can see in the kitchen photos, in 401, our unit, half of the kitchen wall has been removed on one side, and in 501, it's completely walled in, and the cupboards are the original 1961. I'm not sure what that is, but certainly
Yeah.
the wood.
So are they
panel
still
finish.
living in that unit that they bought?
That's rented out.
Okay.
They immediately rented it.
And they haven't done any repairs then? to
As
that
far, I
unit?
think they painted.
Painted, that's about it.
I think the bathroom, no, I don't think they've done it. They told me that they painted. And
Okay.
We're friendly with them, and they mentioned to us that they painted, and that's about it. We were actually in the unit visiting our neighbors at one point.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then this sale you show here, post-reference, but it was a private sale for $345?
I believe it was, because it was on the MLS.
Yeah, I
and
don't see
And
it,
then it
so.
completely disappeared, which I found puzzling, because when a sale is withdrawn, usually it says withdrawn.
Yeah.
But through the grapevine, because it's a small building and everyone is friendly, I came to understand that it sold for something in the 340s.
So I
345.
imagine it was all redone top to bottom?
It was gorgeous, yeah, the
Yeah.
photos were quite.
And the same size as yours and all that?
It's, so there are 3 kinds of units, and there are the 1-1s that are smaller, and then there are 2 sizes of 2-1s, and this is about 30 square feet bigger. It's
Okay.
facing north, and we're facing south.
Okay, how many units are in the building?
31, including the
31.
penthouse.
And now, just out of my own personal
Sure.
question, you said it's a unique building, first
Yeah.
of its kind to Canada. Can you just explain
Yeah,
that?
so there's an article on the Winnipeg Architecture Foundation's website. They've done quite an extensive history of this building, and in that article it says that it was the first 8-story all precast concrete building in Canada. So instead of doing sort of like what eventually I think buildings now are done with those hollow sort of bricks, concrete bricks, this was huge pieces of concrete that were transported to the site, and the seams are there, so like it's basically solid. It's just a different way of doing it, I guess, and in 1961 it was like super,
Yeah, and then the
super
parking
good.
is, so to speak, underneath, but open?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
like a-
open, but it's covered.
Yeah,
But most of the
okay.
spots in the parking lot are not. There are 8 spots that are covered, and we have one of them.
Okay, I drive by that building, so I am familiar with it.
Ah.
Got kind of a neat history on it. so-
It's, there are historical photos of, how it looked in 1961, and there's tremendous effort made to keep it as true to that as can be. So these windows probably could have cost a lot less than they did.
And
But
everybody in the complex did the 30,000 for the windows,
yes,
just to.
yes, it was based on
clarify
a
that.
percentage, unlike the gentleman who was here before who, wow, that's a terrible situation he's in. This is actually by square foot, so it's all, everyone paid about the same.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Mr. Upton, any questions of the appellant?
Yeah, you've indicated you're gonna live in this building for some time. and it's
We
a
hope so,
apartment.
as long as we're in Winnipeg, yes.
So you know what you're doing, you're increasing your payments and taxes every year.
I don't mind paying my fair share. We appreciate where we live, and we want the roads to be good, we want the schools to be good, we don't mind paying taxes for those things.
Well, I think you should be a poster child.
We're gonna put you up for a medal, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you're saying, and you think the fair value is what you're asking, $243. Okay, that's fine, thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Lynn, any questions?
So just to confirm on that Windows special assessment, each unit owner
Yeah.
put in 30,000.
Yes, so as you see on, I also don't have page numbers because.
Yeah, thanks, no, that's fine.
But on the Stevenson assessment page, where it's highlighted, you can see actually the total is $937,635 divided among the 31 owners. So we own, I think, 3.1%, give or take, and so that's the share that we paid was
That's
30,000.
on which page, sorry?
This,
Yeah, I'm looking too.
sorry, towards the end.
Third last
Yeah.
page.
Okay, oh, there, okay.
So in the paragraph, it says in bold, $937,635. We're hoping it won't be more than that, but it's possible if they find problems that it could even be more
That's
than
a
that.
lot of money.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna
ridiculous,
That's a
to be
lot.
honest, it's
That's
ridiculous.
a lot.
But it's, yeah, when we bought, we thought it would be about 20 and it ended up being 30.
Yeah, it's $1 million for the,
So
because of the
that-
height of the building, right?
The height of the building, and it's these huge mid-century modern panes, and other buildings in the neighborhood have divided the panes and gotten these little sort of narrow windows, and because the people living in the building really wanted to remain with the aesthetic, they decided to do this. So
Ah, okay,
they're nice big windows.
yeah.
So which way do you face?
South and
South.
west.
Okay.
We're on the southwest corner.
Okay.
Nice.
Hmm.
Top floor, here.
Okay, so that information obviously wasn't presented to the assessor when you met with them way back?
I did
because-
explain all of that, and then I think it was increased 5,000 to match the comparable. And then when we talked about it, I think it was an issue of this is so unique that it really needed to come to the board. Was that
Yeah,
kind of-
and I believe at that time when you did speak to the assessor, at that time the windows were
It was
done,
before,
right?
yes, it was
Yeah,
before we got
windows
this
were
letter.
done.
That's true.
That was my question.
Yeah.
The windows,
It was before the windows, yeah.
The
Yes.
windows were just very recently done.
We knew they were coming, and then we finally, April 24th, we got the assessment letter.
Yeah.
And we paid in May.
having known about the windows, would that have made a difference?
I talked to my supervisor because we did have a discussion last week and my supervisor suggested we come to the board.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Thank you.
So,
thank you. Fair enough.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Supervisor.
But now we all got to meet, you know?
Yes, that's right. Okay, so, let's see, I'm gonna go over a couple of things here. So, the original assessment was 243 on the last cycle. Based on modeling, the assessor reduced it to 222, and then you visited the preview program, and an age variant was added, 10 years, and that resulted in an increase of $5,000. Do you think, Ms. Capley, from what the appellant has explained, do you think it warrants a more recent age variance? Would you do
It
it?
could.
Or
It could,
condition
I don't know.
modifier?
Maybe, but as I explained to the appellant, and I think it was my supervisor's view too, as well as she's well aware of, and so am I, that $30,000 of windows is not gonna up your value by
Right.
It's all up to
$30,000.
Oh, of course not.
So I
No.
think we were looking maybe at 5%, and of course, we don't make adjustments within
Yeah.
10%, so that's
Yeah,
why.
okay. And you didn't
Yeah.
apply for the increase, so you don't have to notify us, it's the appellant asking for it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so, okay. So, and you're asking us to
I've
put it
never
to...
had one of these before.
243.
So in your opinion, with all the improvements, the assessment should be, if it were to have gone on the market in April 2018 in its current physical condition, it would be 243.
I would have put
Is
it
that
on
fair?
at 249.9, and I think we would have walked away with 243, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay,
Thank you.
everybody's asked questions and we're done. Okay, yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
all.
Thanks for appearing
Thank
and
you.
leave it with us, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Nice meeting you.
You too.
I'm just gonna make sure that,
Okay.
okay, there's still three, but we only have two.
Oh. I'm showing 3. Okay.
Which?
1030 Grant.
She's 10 grand.
Okay, and then 3077 Pembina Highway.
Yeah.
That's you, ma'am? And last is 916 Cloutier Drive, Unit 304. That's you, sir?
Did you get the comps from the assessment department?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we just didn't highlight you off. That's why we're confused.
Okay, so we don't have Tim Sale Drive then? No?
What's that?
We don't have Tim Sale Drive?
That's right, no
Okay.
appearance there, yeah. Non-appearance, okay, 2020. Okay, next property on the docket is 1030 Grant Avenue, unit number 502. And your partner just left. Would you like us to wait for him, or
No, that's fine.
you okay? Well, he can join you when he comes, but it'll have to be sworn in, okay? Okay.
He's gotta move the car, so I think
Yeah.
I think he's done for today.
Okay.
Okay, so,
But thank you.
Would you like to be sworn in or just?
Sworn in.
Sworn in, okay.
Seal drive, no show.
State your full name.
Sandra May Curry?
Do you swear that the evidence you're going to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
I have 4 exhibits.
Okay, well, we can,
Do it.
okay, how many, do you have lots of copies?
I've got 4 or 5 here.
Probably.
Good afternoon, Ms. Curry.
Good afternoon.
Another one here. Over, yeah, there we are.
Okay, so
Oh, still got more.
yeah.
One more. And one more.
So they're numbered, okay.
Okay.
Okay, one more?
Yeah, one more. Oh, I need to take one, sorry. Oh, four.
We actually don't have it, is there one more of these?
My short one?
That's
Which one are we?
3, or exhibit 3.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you mine.
Yeah, and we're missing exhibit 4 also.
You see?
We need
Oh, you
one
don't,
for this.
I think I only have 5 copies.
Okay.
Or 4
Just for
copies.
these.
There's, yeah,
It's 4 and 4.
but here's 3 and 4 for the assessor.
Okay, there we go.
Got 3
Thank you.
3 and 4?
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Exhibit 2, exhibit 1, okay, perfect. Okay, Ms. Capley, we're dealing with unit number 502, 1030 Grant Avenue. Once you've reviewed that, take your time when you are ready, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is a parcel ID number of 1209-7727800. It is a 663 is the condo number with the street address of 502-1030 Grant Avenue. 604 Grant Park is the neighborhood area. It is an apartment style with a year built of 1970, an effective age of 1980. It is 1 floor, a total living area of 885 square feet, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a wall unit for air conditioning, and a balcony sunroom. The other the comparables 1 through 4 are all in the same building. Comparable 1 to 3 is the same size, while comparable 4 is a much smaller unit. The sale prices range from the small unit, $169,000, to the comparable unit in size, $226,500. A time adjusted price of $227,859 for the same size unit to the small of $170,014. A time adjusted sale price of her size unit, $246,33, and the smaller unit, economies of scale, $268.58. The subject property has a 2020 assessment value of $212,000 with a total assessment of $239.55 per square feet. Now, this property, also the owner came in for the RAP program for the 220 assessment, and at that time the property was reviewed and it was reduced down from $222,000 to $212,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kapley. Okay. Ms. Curry, any questions of the evidence presented by the assessor in her brief?
I have a few, yes.
Okay.
Ms. Kaplan, are you aware that the National Real Estate Board has advised that market values actually dropped in Winnipeg in 2017?
Again, our department found that the values would have increased.
But were you aware of what the National Real Estate Board has said?
Personally, no. This is on the department.
Okay. In your opinion, does a reserve fund and a debt against the condominium complex impact the market value?
Yes.
Do you take that into consideration when you're determining?
That I don't
assessing
know
assessment?
specifically. I would think the modelers do take that into.
In your opinion, would an more accurate reflection of market value be a condominium that's sold within 30 days of your April 1st, 2018 deadline, or something that was 2 years prior?
It's the sales we could find in the building here, so there is 2017 sales.
And just to clarify, one is a one-bedroom, and
That's
one was
correct.
almost a year prior.
Yes, July 2017, so 8 months. So that's why time adjusted, yeah. It shows at 216.
That's all the questions I have for you.
Thank you. Lynn, any questions of the assessor?
Yeah. Have you inspected this property?
No, I have not.
Okay. And you're showing an increase in the age, effective age, so there's been some upgrades to it.
Mm-hmm.
Does your record show what type of upgrades there have been?
The notes here indicate a completely refurbished condo high-rise on Grant Avenue. The building is completely redone, suites, hallway, front entrance, and parking. The suites are stripped down to the drywall and concrete floors and rebuilt. That's what the notes
And does
indicate.
it say when that was done?
2011, August.
Okay. And these sales, are they market sales?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, no pictures of this one. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lynn. Bob, any questions of the assessor?
In your experience, does the sale price go up as you go higher in the building for different apartments?
Depends, because a main unit can be valuable, or a high one can be valuable.
The
It
height doesn't
depends.
vary a relationship to the value, you know?
The modelers would take that into account with the model value.
Okay, very good. I think that's all for the moment. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Ms. Kapley, how many stories is this building? I'm trying to figure out which building this is. I guess you're showing units on the sixth, fifth?
Sixth floor, you know, there's at least six.
I don't know if
7
there's-
stories,
yeah.
okay, and you're on the fifth,
I'm on
yeah.
the fifth.
Okay. And are the notes on the review done in, I guess, spring of 2019, and it was revised from 220, they took $10,000 off?
Correct.
Basically. And what was the reason for that?
It just says that the units that were compared there, 201, 611, and 312 in the same building.
I think they just looked at other assessments in the same building.
Okay. And the selling
Not
prices are
market value.
similar too, I guess, it turns out, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you look at the recent one, July 2017, it's at 216,000.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And, okay, and you're obviously not happy with that adjustment,
Not
okay.
even close. My husband and I have both taken time off work today to be here because we take it very seriously.
Okay.
These numbers are way out of whack,
Okay, all right, and I think that's,
sadly.
is it outdoor parking here, I guess? 1970,
There's some outdoor parking, there's an underground open parkade.
open, yeah, okay. All right, okay, that's all my questions for you, Kara. Okay, Ms. Curry, when you are ready, please.
Okay, my presentation is really in three parts. I'd like to start off by giving a bit of background to the condo. the comparative market analysis, which was provided to me by Royal LePage, which is Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 was the assessor's comparative analysis, which was provided to me at our initial meeting November 8th, 2018. So these new comparables are news to me. So my sister and I purchased the condo for my mom, who's 90 years old, because she could no longer afford rent in this city. So because of the increase in condo fees, costs associated with repairs required to the building, and the high taxes for the condos in the city, this one is in excess of $2,700. We're now faced with looking at other options for my mom and absorbing a loss, which was estimated in 2018 of $30,000. We paid $219,900 in 2011. It's my understanding the real estate agent that we purchased from was actually in partnership with the developer, and the agent actually owned property in the complex for a brief period of time, which is a conflict of interest. It's my understanding that the agent artificially inflated prices and very clearly set the condo fees unrealistically low in order to entice buyers. We were told everything was redone and what we were purchasing was like brand new. This was far from the truth. Without getting into details of all the work needed, the building, in addition to a special assessment we paid, the condominium board was forced to take out a long-term loan, which at the end of 2017 was $132,999, which is in my exhibit, exhibit 3 or 4, so I gave them both to you. In addition, our reserve fund in 2017 was a mere $42,999. The auditors advised us it should be $223,816, which is also evidenced in Exhibit 4. In 2017 and 2018, the financial position of this complex was less than desirable, and as a result impacted our ability to sell and our market value. So just some of the things that we've had to do, and they talked about this place totally being redone. Well, I'm telling you, it was lipstick put on this facility. The asphalt was not even at the time of the conversion of the apartments to condos. The drainage pipes were clogged with cement. Drywall, when removed from prior damage, not repaired. The sump pumps were working. The roof required repairing. There was improper capping. The asbestos found in the lower level, which clearly was never inspected by the city or disclosed by the realtor. I should be suing people as opposed to sitting here and asking for our taxes being lowered. But I've been told it would cost us $500,000. Flooding in the lower level is due to the poor drainage and water coming in from the back lane. So as a result, numerous tenants tried to sell their property. As many as 6 for sale signs were up in front of that building at any given time. However, the condos were not selling. They just weren't selling. So if I could refer you to the comparative market analysis, which I took to the assessor November last year. So he indicated to me there were no reasonable comparables in the block to utilize. And so he had provided me with Exhibit 2, which was a separate comparable analysis from what the assessor is giving me today. So what Royal LePage provided me with, if you want to look at the bottom 2 notations, Unit 312 was actually put up for sale in May 2017 for $199,900, and it didn't sell. It's a larger unit right within the complex. So I don't know how we can possibly say our condo's worth $212 when they couldn't sell one bigger for $199. It did sell. They put it back up for sale for $198,900, and they only got $195. Now that was May 2018, so we're 1 month past the cutoff. But it's a more realistic number than something from 2015 or 8 months prior. So if we're actually looking at what's the market value for April 1st, 2018, I suggest to you it's less than $195 because mine's a smaller unit. So because I was prepared to speak to the assessor's comparables that I was provided in November, I took a look at those, and his comparables to me were off as well. But if we were looking at them,
You know, in all fairness to the assessor, she's presenting the evidence we've got today, so we're not gonna, she's not depending on this, this brief that he submitted. She's got.
I guess I was,
Yeah.
so that's what I've spent a week
Yeah,
looking at.
no, she's here presenting her evidence from your building. They're all in your building, I guess, yes, they are. And that's what she's defending. So that's what we're dealing with as the board.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I think in fairness to me, that should have been sent to me ahead of time, but these numbers then are from 2015. Two of the comparables are 2015, and the July and the September one is a one-bedroom. And the September one is a larger unit, and it was 8 months prior. So I would suggest to you a more reasonable comparable is the one that was done only a month after, like May 2018, as opposed to April 1st, 2018.
Okay, and that assessment, for that selling price per square foot is $211 approximately.
Right, so
And
if you
is it a
compute
small,
that
yeah, okay.
to
all right.
855 square feet, I think it
Okay.
would convert to 185,000 for my unit.
185, that's what you're asking for?
Between 185 and 189, sadly.
Yeah. So I get approximately 187,000. I rounded it up to 211. 186,700, okay. Based on that based on that one sale, yeah, okay. On level 3, right, yeah. 1 month post-reference. Okay,
And unfortunately, one sale does not represent a market.
fair enough, okay. Yeah,
But I think if you take a look at what you're presenting, and I'm prepared to take this as far as I have to go, these sales in 2015 are not a reasonable comparison to April 1st, 2018.
Yeah, that's why the one comparable one is a fabulous comparable then for 215,000.
8 months prior. 8 months
Yeah.
prior, a lot happened in that 8 months.
I think the assessor made the decision to stay within the building, which is really the most accurate estimate of value, but she can't create sales in 2017 and 2018. She
With
can
all
only
due
go with
respect,
what's.
the other assessor
Yeah,
said these weren't reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because they were too
but the
far
notes
out.
here
You
do
looked
say
within
that they
6 months.
compared, I used the 201, 611, and 312 in the same building, and that's when they went down to 212.
Well, I met with an assessor, and he said he wouldn't go without outside 6 months. And he wouldn't take my April 1st, 2000, or my May 1st, 2018 one either.
That's correct, yeah, because it's after the reference date. That would be considered for the
So
next assessment.
If we honestly are looking for market value April 1st, 2018, this is the one we're looking at. I don't care what kind of red tape the city has, these are not reasonable comparables, not
Okay.
even close. And that's why you had a room full of people that own condos that are appealing their taxes right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, we understand where you're coming from, and the panel will discuss how much evidence we're gonna put on that borderline post-reference, but the panel will discuss it certainly, we'll take it into consideration, you know. And just to confirm, you're asking for between 180 and 185?
185 and 189.
189, okay.
Yeah, based on the financial position as well of the complex.
Okay. All right. Ms. Kapley, any questions of the appellant?
No, I will summarize those.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lynn, any questions
I
of the
do.
appellant?
I'm just looking at your comparative market analysis. When did these go on the market? Or this 312?
It was listed May 18th, 2017, and did not sell for $199,900.
Okay.
And then they relisted a year later for $198,900, and they accepted $195,000.
Okay. And now, looking at the assessor's comparables, comparable one, because I'm I'm just looking at the 2017 sales myself. The 2015s are cycled before, so I'm looking at comparable one especially. Why do you think it sold for $216,000?
You know what, maybe within family, I think it's an anomaly. If somebody would have offered me $215 back then, I would have run with it. All I can say is I know there were lots of people that put their properties up for sale and they didn't sell them.
Did some of these issues with the building just become known in 2017, or like when did they become known? You talked about flooding,
Yeah.
Sewers clogged with cement, like when did those issues become known?
We first became aware in 2016, I think. May 2016 was when the board became aware of some of the issues. And then from there, we've had some leaks in the roof. We've got problems. In 2017, I believe, is when they found the problems with all the balconies. So the balconies above our units are leaking into our units. So I wouldn't say all of them were found in 2017, some were 2016.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sense of
Yeah.
these sales, which are higher.
Yeah. Well, we've got one, which I think the assessor said doesn't make a market.
No, I'm looking at, yes, you're right, she said that. And then
2015 to me aren't even close.
I'm trying to look at something a little more updated too, so
Yeah.
that's, okay. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have, thank you.
Thanks, Lynn. Bob, any questions of the appellant?
Yeah, the one sale you're relying on for $195,000. Are you familiar with that unit? What condition it was in? or-
You know what, I think they're all in about the same condition. My understanding is the bigger units are a lot nicer, but my mom's been in it, I haven't. I think they're all about the same, except the larger units have a lot, they seem to be a lot nicer because they're a little bit larger. We've put no work into ours since 2011, since we
Yeah.
bought it.
So you are not really familiar with what the unit itself, what it looks like, or
No,
what requirements there were to repair it or upgrade it, or,
no, either one of them.
okay. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Have you ever attempted to sell this unit?
We've spoke to a realtor now,
Okay,
yeah.
I guess it's post-reference, is that right? It just happened, occurred now?
We're looking in the 180s, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's, okay.
The problem was we purchased the unit because my mother lives on a pension and she couldn't afford rent. Her rent was going to be increased $300 a month. So my sister and I bought it and wanted to keep, her expenses and her rent just to cover the expenses. Well, she can't do it, so my sister and I are taking a hit every single month. Taxes, no one wants to buy condos when your taxes are $2,700. They just don't. It's killing the market.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Curry. Ms. Kapp, leave any requirement for summary?
Yeah, I'll reiterate that the department does look at the sales from April 1st, 2016 to April 1st, 2018. And we did go with the building and what sold in the building, what was there. So we do use that reference period to develop the model. We don't look at the post-reference sales. They'll be used for the next model. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Curry?
Just want to point out again, I'll reiterate again, looking at a sales from 2015 and 2016 isn't an accurate reflection of this market April 1st, 2018. Due to the financial position of our condo and the ongoing work required in the building, and the evidence I've showed that a larger, nicer condo sold within our complex for $195, I would suggest a more reasonable market value would be $185 to $189, which is about $210 a square foot. There's no way our condo would have sold for $212 on April 1st, 2018. It's absolutely ludicrous. And again, I was prepared to speak to the comparables provided by the other assessor, and there's the selling price per square foot on average was $174. And also given the National Real Estate Boards has said that property values dropped in Winnipeg in 2017. Everyone's taxes should have gone down, not increased.
Okay. All right. Leave it with us and you'll hear from us as soon as possible.
Thanks very much.
And regarding your comment, you do have an option to go to the municipal board if you're not happy with our decision, but there is a time frame for filing that'll be detailed in the notice from this Board of Revision, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for appearing.
Thank you.
Okay, that concludes 1030 Grant Avenue, Unit 502. And here she is back, just in time.
Oh,
Very good.
well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay, which one is this now?
Okay,
I don't know yet.
3077 Pembina.
we're gonna do 3077 Pembina Highway, Unit 114.
Okay.
Come forward, please. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I do, but only 2 sets. I didn't realize.
That's okay, I think we should,
I didn't realize
Did you make, how many copies did you make?
only 2.
Oh, 2. Well,
I think it's okay, we can
yeah, we'll share.
give one to the assessor.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll-
Yeah.
And we won't write on ours.
Yeah.
We won't write on it.
Okay, well, I'll swear you in first, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so please state your name.
Iris Johnson.
Iris, do you swear to, that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
And we've got, so you've got one, we've got a total of 3 copies and you're
No,
gonna,
just a total of 2.
oh, so you
I
need
just
one to
made-
read from, okay?
No, I made little notes for myself
Okay,
while I was waiting.
oh, okay. All right, so we're gonna pass this to the assessor.
And I had a lot of time to
And then we're
read.
gonna.
Yeah, we did.
You guys
Okay, we'll
take-
put this here for now, and
Okay.
then
You go
we
from
won't
there.
write on it. Thanks, super.
Put your pens away.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Johnson. Okay, Ms. Capweave, if you want to take a minute to review that information presented by the appellant. Take your time, and when we're ready, we can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property has a parcel ID of 03-06805-2600. It is condo number 34. The street address is 114 3077 Pembina Highway. It is 638 Richmond West is the neighborhood area. It is a garden-style exterior entry with a year built of 1978. 1 floor, a total living area of 1,132 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, central air conditioning, and the comparables are all, one comparable is in the same building and the other ones are within close proximity. The comparables all have the same square footage, the same number of bedrooms, bath, air conditioning, and are all garden entries. The sale prices range from $160,000 to $199,899, which is a time-adjusted sale price of $165,600 to $205,896. A per square foot of $146.29 to $181.89. As you see, the sales are in 2016, so there has been nothing in 17. The subject property is assessed at $165,000 with a total assessment per square foot of $145.76. This property was also reviewed in the preview program. Okay, thank you.
What's happening?
We'll find out.
Thanks, Kara. So, okay, yeah. Ms. Johnson, do you have any questions of the assessor's evidence presented so far? You have your opportunity to present your evidence right away, but anything that she's presented?
Well, yes, I'm concerned about the comparables.
Okay.
They're all within a 5-month period at the peak of the market. And I know there were sales in 2017.
Okay, well, maybe you can present those when you present your evidence.
I
Okay.
didn't, okay.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions of the assessor's evidence?
No.
Okay, thank you. Lynn, any questions of the assessor?
Well, the big question following that was what happened in the preview period? You said it was reviewed?
Yeah, it was reviewed, and I guess she talked to the assessor, and at that time, her concerns were reviewed, and it was taken in consideration for the 2018 and 2020 assessments. She did say that her unit is actually the lowest assessed unit in the entire complex. She agreed that it should be. That's about it.
So no changes?
No, the value was supported.
Okay, and have you inspected the property?
No, I have not.
Have you inspected any of the comparables that you
No.
brought? Okay, the quality of the finishings, are they comparable from the subject to the others?
I don't know, I'm guessing, just with looking at the data on the paper, yes. But not interior, I don't know.
No pictures, no pictures,
No.
okay.
We don't provide pictures of the comps.
Doesn't mean you can't. Just means you don't.
Okay.
I like the map. Everything's really close by though, right? I see. You don't have the comparables marked in this, or are they 3085, are they in the same lot? You just have the subject.
Yeah, I guess because they were probably right next door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just close to the perimeter again, right?
Yes, again, past the university.
Is it the
Yes.
same one as the other one?
No.
No, the other one
Very
is
close,
very
3030.
close, yeah.
Okay, that's it, thanks.
Thank you. Bob, any questions?
So comp one is in the same complex, same building? Comp one and the subject are the same complex? They're both together? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yes, and on the same floor, I believe.
And it's, the sale price was $190,000 in 2016.
That's correct.
You don't know, you've not examined either one of these?
No.
Bills, so you don't know if there's something outstanding about it that would command a high price? Okay, nothing further right now, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Capley, so is there some kind of is there an adjustment made for some kind of condition or something?
It does say that that was taken into consideration here, yeah.
During the preview program, was there a
She
change in the
explained
assessment?
she's
No.
still having the same problems with her unit, restructure, mold and rust issues. Those factors are taken into consideration for the reassessments, and her unit is actually the lowest assessed unit in the entire
Yeah.
complex.
So I'm looking at the assessment at $145 a square foot, and it's assessed for $25 to $30 a square foot less than the market evidence on 3 out of 4 of the comparables, right? So it seems like one of them is at 146 time adjusted,
Yeah.
comp number 2, but the other 3, it seems like there must be some kind of an allowance built in for possibly for something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Huge variation.
Yeah. But you have no, you just said there's, I think the accountant's gonna show us the problems, but it seems like there might be an adjustment.
Yeah, you know what, it seems to be, there's a history here of the building having problems, as I noticed that you have always
Yeah,
come in, and those issues have been taken into account.
yeah,
So,
okay. So if those issues weren't there, the assessment would be higher.
that's correct, yes.
Okay.
Mine is the only unit with a problem.
The issues, okay, yeah.
And they figured, can I speak?
Yeah, we're just gonna.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
It's okay.
I'm just making my notes here. I'll give you, bear with me 1 second. Okay. Okay, Ms. Johnson, when you're ready, please.
Thank you.
And then we're gonna share this, your presentation
Right,
here.
right.
Maybe
We're
we'll
gonna
follow
follow
along.
along.
Yeah,
Okay, we won't
Okay,
write
go
on it
ahead.
though, pen is away from
Now,
that.
you made comments about the values of the number 1 comparable and the number 3 and 4. Those units were owned by handymen, I should say. And they upgraded their units considerably.
okay.
And it was at the peak of the market. And I have been told that the condo market has decreased by 15% since 2018, by 15%. Anyway, there are, right now, a unit identical to mine, with the exception that she doesn't have the problems in the crawl space, creating problems on the main floor that I have. I'm the only unit that has them. They figured there might be a river underneath, deep down under my unit, causing the moisture and the mildew and mildew, I should say, and the mold, etc.
Okay,
This unit just sold for $158,000, but I realize that after sitting and learning that this is not taken into consideration at this time.
yeah, it's post-reference.
But that unit sat in the market for a long time, and then she just sold it for $158,000.
Okay,
Now, number 1, picture number 1, there's a large crack in the wall basement area, and eventually what happened was the unit shifted. It caused a crack on the flooring at the doorway. It's causing the wall, number 3, 4, and 5 pictures. So you can see the wall separating from the ceiling. And this happens it's just like a drunk person. When it feels like moving that way, it moves. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it is very noticeable,
okay,
okay?
all right,
When the building shifted, all the doors had, my son was locked in his bedroom because we couldn't open the door.
okay,
And so all the doors had to be shaved or moved, or the jambs had to be moved,
Okay.
or the frames. And this happens occasionally where we have to readjust it.
okay,
There's a special metal molding on a corner that has buckled completely.
all right. So we've got shifting in the house related to the foundation shifting, it looks like. And you've got the pictures detailing the doors being out of square, plaster split, shifting, cracking or separating. Does that sum it up? Okay?
And then the flooring, because of the moisture buildup, and I have fans going and dehumidifiers, excuse me for stuttering, but the laminate floor buckled. I had a huge bubble
Oh, okay.
in my, and this it ruined all my laminate flooring. It caused the seams to separate and curling of the laminate flooring.
Okay,
The moisture, of course, creates mildew mold. In the 2 back bedrooms, I've got a picture there, and in the bathroom and in the toilet, and rust appears on the carpets just whenever it feels like it, it's there.
Okay,
And especially at the front door, there's a lot of problems there with rust.
okay.
Now they did some upgrading of the exterior, and there's an issue with the eavesdropping, and the water is accumulating on my patio because it has, my area has sunk,
Okay, yeah.
and
And
so,
you think the water's getting back into the crawl space? Okay.
when I bought that building, when I bought that condo, the reserve fund was very, very low, and it was attractive on the market. And lately, we've been building up the reserve fund, and that has some effect on the sale of the building. There had been no upkeep, exterior upkeeping done in the units in the complex at all. They wanted to keep the condo fees low to make it attractive. And because of that, my whole front of my condo had to be rebuilt. There was so much rot in that.
Oh.
And
So the condo board, or they did it?
they
for you?
did it.
They responsible?
They did it,
Okay,
yes. But they have told me they're not prepared to do anything else about the crawl space because there's nothing else they can do.
okay. All right. So I'll ask you now, what do you think the assessment should be as a result of all these issues you've detailed?
No, I won't be smart. Anyway,
Maybe if you want to think about it.
No,
Yeah,
between 150 and 155.
okay. 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 All right. Okay, thank you. Ms. Capleave, any questions of the appellant?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. You've lived in the unit since 2002? Yeah, and have you done any upgrades in the unit with the kitchen or the bathroom or anything like that?
I did put in some kitchen, a pantry, I took out the carpeting, which I thought was a smart idea, but it turned out that when I installed the laminate, then the buckling started, etc. That's basically it, the laminate flooring and my kitchen.
Okay, yeah, I can see the problems with the laminate. Unfortunately, we've had such a dry summer. I think a lot of us probably have experienced that. My laminate has been buckling in my doors as well, but with the dry summer. Okay, and then, oh, sorry?
No.
No, okay. And any plans to sell the unit, or you're just?
No, I can't afford to sell.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Lynn, any questions?
I have no
Bob?
question. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I think I understand the problems that
Yeah.
are presented,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so, Ms. Johnson, the house is built on a surface foundation, there's a crawl space underneath?
It's a condo, yes, there's a crawl
Yeah.
space.
Okay, then that's what your picture shows on the side of the crawl space, the
Yes,
the foundation.
that's.
Okay, how do you access that crawl space?
Through the storage room in my condo.
So there's a trap door, go inside? Has anybody ever gone down there and trying to rectify what's going on?
They put in, we have it inspected every twice a year.
Okay,
But they did put in some poly, plastic on the walls, and that did cut down on some of the mold, that I was smelling, but you do still smell it. And those pictures that I showed you about the mold, that was just taken during this winter.
Okay. So from what you said, the condo corporation is responsible for rectifying the situation. Have you ever got an estimate on your own about how much it would cost to cure the problem?
No,
No.
no. No, I haven't.
Okay, okay. And what kind of heating system do you have in there?
It's electrical.
Electric?
Furnace.
A furnace, so there is air circulating?
Yes, there is.
It's not baseboard.
I have air circulating, I have a dehumidifier
Yeah,
going.
okay. Okay, and you're asking us to revise it to?
Yes.
Between 150 and 155,000?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Are you the only unit that has a small crawl space underneath
Yes,
it?
no,
There's other
no.
than- Are they experiencing the same problem?
no.
They're not.
I'm the only unit that is having these issues.
Mhm.
And that's why they think that there's a river under my
Something
unit.
unique about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Any requirement for summary? You're good, okay. And you're good, Ms. Johnson, okay. Leave it with us and you'll hear from us as soon as possible, okay?
Okay, thank you very
Okay,
much
and then we'll
for
give that
hearing.
copy back
Thank you.
to-
Yep. There, before
It's clean, too.
it gets a tan.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, sir, last but not least.
All right.
Okay, that concludes 3077 Penman Highway, Unit 114.
I just realized. The 2 days show up.
Okay,
We can do this one first.
so we're dealing with 916 Cloutier Drive, Unit 304. So, sorry, Katie, you said there's authorization?
For the ones that can come in, and we can.
Oh,
we
okay,
can
we'll do that.
after.
Okay, I see, I'm sorry, okay. Sorry, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you could state your full name.
Albert Reppel.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mr.
Albert. Reppel.
Mr. Rempel, okay, here we go. Thanks. There we go, Mr. Rempel, okay. We're doing 916 Cloutier Drive, Unit 304. Miss, do you have any information to present us, sir?
Yeah, I messed up too, just like Miss Johnson. I only have one copy
Oh, okay,
to give you, so
okay.
I will know for next time.
Um,
My apologies.
Hopefully there won't be next time.
Well, I hope not either.
Now,
I was hoping there wouldn't be a this time.
okay, so this is,
I mean, I can quickly, maybe we need, make it.
Yeah,
Needs one and
please,
we
thank
need
you.
one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we're gonna recess for 5 minutes. I'll now call the hearing back to order. And 916 Cloutier, and Mr. Rempel has some exhibits for us.
I didn't get a chance to staple them.
Don't worry.
There's one.
Okay. And the assessor. Here we go. Mr. Upson. Thank you. And
Thank you.
and you've got one for yourself, right? Yeah.
I do, yes,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Okay, and you've got one, Katie.
I've got one.
Okay, right on, okay, we can write on it, okay. Ms. Capwe, when you are ready, please, 916 Cloutier, Unit 304.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property has a parcel ID of 0303191860. It is a condo number of 168. The street address is 304-916 Cloutier Drive. It is a neighborhood area of 635 Cloutier Drive. It is an apartment style and built in 1975. One floor, a total living area of 1,079 square feet. There are 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, 1 half bath, and the air conditioning is provided by a wall unit. There's a balcony or a sunroom, and the comparables are in the same building, have the same size, bedrooms, baths, air conditioning, balcony, etc. They range, the sale prices on these range from $209,000 to $245,000. The time adjusted sale price is $211,717 to $249,165. That leaves a time adjusted sale price per square feet of $196.22 to $230.92. This subject property has a value of $190,000 with an assessment of $176.09 per square foot. On page 2, you see the pictures of the current condition of what the property looks like today. It has been remodeled and redone, and then the map is on page 3. Thank you.
Thank you, Kira. Mr. Rempel, any questions of the assessor's evidence presented?
Yeah, I just got one question. I'm just, I noticed that the comparables that you've given for today's assessment hearing are different than the comps that you gave me supporting your, or that your office gave me in April supporting your assessment numbers. Why is that?
I have no idea why. These are the ones that were chosen for the appeal hearing.
Because they're considerably different and much higher than the ones when I made the decision to appeal. So-
When she's given the docket, she analyzes each brief, and it's up to her to, she takes ownership of it, and she determines what's gonna be used to justify
Okay.
or revise the assessment. So that's what we're dealing with today.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can present evidence, it looks like you're gonna present evidence otherwise.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
Okay,
guess I need to.
okay, so no other questions regarding?
No other questions.
Okay. And any questions of the assessor?
So this one did go to preview, was reviewed in the preview period?
Yeah, there is a history on this property. Do I explain that, or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay,
Or the last 2
What?
years or something.
yeah, there was a sale on it. This property was in rough condition, and then the property was all renovated and redone. Someone from our department did inspect the property back in June, and at that time, the property was being redone, and she advised the appellant that it would be the current condition today. And that's why the pictures are here of the current condition, as I did just find out that the property is recently listed for sale. So this is what the property looks like today, and that's what we take into consideration. And as I said, there was an inspection done on it, and at that time it was being renovated.
You said there was a sale?
There
Or
wa-
it's a post-reference sale?
It is I don't know if it's a post-reference sale, just let me check.
Can I answer that?
Sure.
Okay, so I bought it in January of this year for 110. So that's the post-reference sale.
January 2019?
Correct.
Yeah.
Closed January 15th, 2019.
How much did you say?
110,000.
110,000.
With subsequent renovations.
Yes,
Up to
as
this.
per the condition in the pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I have no more questions, but perhaps I'll wait until,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, Bob, any questions?
Yeah, there's quite a variance in these units. They're all the same in size and amenities, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a wide variance in the selling prices, all within 1 year. Anything account for that you know of?
No, the recent, there are 2 recent sales, so
Yeah, the older sales, well, that it would indicate the market has gone down
I don't know.
from 216 to 217.
I don't know. Depends how those units were individually.
Yeah,
You'll let me know when I'm
Yeah.
supposed to
it
get
would indicate to me that the market has been impacted negatively.
Unless these ones were all renovated.
That's
The
true.
other ones weren't.
Absolutely, you don't
Yeah,
know the condition
I
of the
don't know.
apartment. Okay, thank you for now.
Okay, Bob, thank you. And I have no questions. Okay, Mr. Rempel, when you're ready, please.
Okay, so I'll give you a bit of a backstory on this. I've given you a comparable in and around, or prior to the April 2018 period is Unit 403. And the reason why I picked that is because Grandma and Grandpa owned that unit. And Grandpa was
Sorry, where are you?
on this page here.
Oh,
So Grandpa was the president of the condo board. And so I'm very familiar with what affects the value of these condos. One of them is whether or not you're on the river. One of them is whether or not you have in-suite laundry or whether you have to go to the laundry room. And one of them is whether or not you have indoor parking and indoor and outdoor parking. So all of that affects the value of the building. And then also, and lastly, was whether or not you're on the top floor. The most expensive units that that have been in that building are when you have a 7th floor unit facing the river with indoor parking. Okay, and there's not enough indoor parking spots to be titled to every unit, so some units have them and some units don't. Okay. One thing I think we have to be very clear on is, and obviously we were involved in helping Grandma and Grandpa sell. Grandpa had passed away already, but we assisted in helping with the sale of this condo. Their condo was in very good shape, facing the river. Okay, they had an indoor parking spot with in-suite laundry, and we struggled to land at 185. So when you're talking about a 3rd floor unit that does not have in-suite laundry, that does not have indoor parking, and is not on the river, it's facing the highway. It's very difficult for me to say that 190 in its current form, in today's form, in that market would go anywhere close to 190,000. When I look at the comparables, for example, 710. Well, 710 is on the top floor. They had done a fairly significant renovation in 710, and 710 possessed in-suite laundry. So I don't feel that 710 is a fair comparison to our unit that doesn't have in-suite laundry and that isn't on the top floor. And top floor, for obvious reasons, you don't have anybody walking around on the floor above you. What you have is the ability. Excuse me 1 second here. What you have is the ability to.
Did you get it?
I just did.
that's your parking.
Yeah, I'm just trying to process it now. There we go.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll go through. What you have is, like one of the pet peeves, of a building like this is that, if somebody's banging around upstairs, you're going to hear them. That's just the reality of apartment style condo living. However, if you're on the 7th floor, you're not going to have that. Not to mention that your views are going to be pretty incredible.
Could I ask you, sir, right now while we're here, would it be fair to say that 710 doesn't face the river? Or-
710 does not.
Okay, so all the even numbers don't face the, or,
Even numbers don't face the river, and odd numbers face the river.
so the last two, they sold high probably because they're facing the river. Would that be
Yeah,
fair?
it's like I used to live on
Okay.
Grandma and Grandpa's was river facing.
Yeah,
And the one I used to live on the 5th floor was river facing.
yeah, okay. Because Mr. Upton had a question on why those sold for so much more, and
Yeah.
that's why.
Okay, the number one thing is if you can be river facing. The number two thing is if you have an indoor stall. Then third is gonna be, which floor are you on and do you have in-suite laundry? Obviously if you don't have in-suite laundry, you have to go plug the coin and, wash your clothes with everybody else. Okay, so we got 210. 210 has in-suite laundry, indoor parking, and a newer kitchen and bathroom have been renovated in that suite. Okay, I wasn't able to find information on 603. I was trying to see if I could use my contacts, but they didn't get back to me in time. So I'm not 100% sure. I think 603 has indoor parking. It's for sure riverfront. And 503 has in-suite laundry and is riverfront. When you look at on the comp sheet that the city first gave me, you had 510, 916 Cluche, a time adjusted sale price or a sale price of 165, time adjusted to 167. Okay, that unit most closely approximate the unit that I'm in ownership of. And it didn't have in-suite, it didn't have indoor parking, it faces the highway, and of course is not a top floor, so there's no discernible discrepancy between that unit and how it was sold and the condition and the layout and the details of the unit that I'm currently owning. What I can tell you is that the city did inspect it. Obviously, it's I've made no secret about the fact that this, suite has been upgraded. I spent about $30,000 upgrading paint, flooring, and the kitchen cabinets, and appliances. When this unit was listed, it was listed in the pre period. They had listed it for 170. They listed it February 26, 18 for 170. They didn't get one offer, so they reduced it to 144.9. They didn't get one offer until my offer came in, and basically we settled at 110 due to its condition. So, it's quite a stretch in my mind to say that I can buy this thing at 110, put in $30,000, and somehow it's worth, on a tax assessment, 190. It doesn't bear out. We've listed it and we've not got a sniff. And that to me proves out that even in this market, 190 is a ridiculous price.
Okay.
So I know you're gonna ask me what I think it should be assessed at, and I think the only comparable in everything that the city has presented that is comparable to my unit is this 510 916, which sold at 165, price adjusted 167 640. So what I'm asking for today is that it be properly assessed at 167 640.
I'm sorry, what was that number?
167 640.
Using the
$155.37
a square foot, or?
That is correct.
Okay. Right, gotcha, sorry.
Yeah, because you're not getting proportionate square foot representation as per, the gentleman there, his name I forget. Yeah, you asked the question why these other ones went for more, is because it's not going proportionately by square foot, it's going by factors outside of square footage, it's going by the river, the parking, the laundry, those types of things, which floor you're on. Obviously, if you're on the 7th floor, you're always gonna get a bit more money for the 7th floor. So I know that you guys like to go off of per square foot, but that, in this instance, I don't think is the metric, the right metric to use. And I don't think the city's comparables have properly explained what the building's variables are in attracting sales price. I knew my unit would struggle because I didn't have indoor parking or riverfront, but at 110, I can rent this thing for a long time and be okay at 110. I mean, the building in general has this riverbank stabilization levy on it for another $1,700 a year of property tax that has to be paid for roughly another 10 years. So building itself is somewhat impaired because of a whole bunch of factors, but because none of that really matters, because all the comparisons, like all the units in the building are gonna share those same problems. So what you have to do, and you don't have to do anything of course, but what I would suggest is that we look at ones that actually match the unit that I own, and not match units that really don't correlate with what I've got.
Okay. Ms. Kapley, any questions of the
Sure,
appellant?
yeah. If you're saying 510 is comparable, do you have pictures of it?
I don't. You never sent me pictures of it, so I haven't been able to get in there. There's a limited amount of stuff that I can get off the internet.
So you're saying 510 has been completely gutted down and redone like yours?
Well, we didn't completely gut mine down.
You did, you took it down to the studs, there's permits
I
here.
did not take it down to the studs.
You did take it down to the studs, there's permits here
No.
to move electrical, to move walls.
That's correct. We
Yeah.
moved a section of the pony wall in the kitchen to accommodate cabinets. We didn't take it, now, when you say take it straight down to the studs, that's misleading because you're implying we took that whole thing straight down to the studs. Okay, what we took was 6 feet of pony wall out of that kitchen to make room for that island that you see in there.
Yeah, so you've
Okay.
redone it quite extensively and put very high finishes in it. So if you only spent 30,000 on it, wow, good for you.
Okay, first of all, okay, I don't wanna be combative, but don't say it in such a misleading way because it's not true. Number one is, I'm in the building business in Alberta, and I order from Elias Woodwork, I ordered 60 kitchens this year. Okay, it's not gonna cost me the retail price of a kitchen. So I can put in a pretty nice kitchen, okay, and it's not gonna cost me 15,000 like it is everybody else.
That's what I'm saying, you've
Okay.
done quite the work for
Yeah,
the price.
it's nice, but
It's
I
beautiful.
have melamine cabinet boxes, okay? I've got vinyl plank flooring. I don't have hardwood flooring like, for example, 710 has hardwood in it.
Maybe I'll summarize here.
I don't have-
Maybe the $30,000 you spent was on contractor pricing.
Well, of
Would
course,
that
it's
be
all
fair?
it's all contract, but no different than the gentleman this morning when you asked him that same question, how much did he spend? He
No.
spent 40-some thousand. Of
Yeah.
course, he didn't do it himself, he hired
Yeah.
contractors to
But
do
what
it.
we're looking at is the market value,
Well,
no matter what we
I
spent on
understand,
it,
but
yeah.
she's trying to suggest that we took this whole place down to the bare studs and put in high-end finishes. We did not put in high-end finishes. Yeah, the kitchen's nice.
She's referring to the pictures here, you know, we'll judge
Well,
on
I
it.
understand, but, you know,
Yeah.
I'm here to refute the fact that the city's trying to make out like we've got a penthouse suite here.
No, no,
What we
but-
have is a nice unit that somebody is gonna wanna live in.
I think she said there's been extensive renovations, and I don't think you would disagree.
I would disagree on the extensive part,
Well, okay.
you know, because she defined extensive as straight down to the studs.
Okay, I
Okay,
guess she was just.
changing a wall is not bringing the entire suite down to the studs.
No, but she was reading off the permit, and
Okay.
maybe it wasn't clear what was stipulated there, but
Okay,
anyway.
well, I just wanna clarify that,
Yeah,
because I think
okay.
it's misleading to say that we did an extensive
Okay.
renovation. We did
Point-
flooring, paint,
Yeah,
and cabinets,
yeah, point taken, okay.
yeah.
Anything else, Ms.
I
Cassidy?
do have pictures of 710 here if you'd like to see them, and 710 is in no way as nice as what your unit is. Granted, it is on the top floor. And you were saying 167,640, would you sell it today for that?
Okay, but I'm not gonna answer that, because you're saying we have to go with prices based on the market, at or prior to April 1st, 2018, and if that's the case, then your question's irrelevant to this, to this proceeding.
I think what she's trying to ask you is, sorry, Kara.
Yeah.
Is current condition, if you were to put it on the market in April 1st, 2018, would you have sold it for $167,000?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. Like, you know, I
Sorry.
mean, the condo corporation wants to rent it from me for their caretaker, from their on-site staff,
Yeah.
at an attractive rent. I don't, you know, I'm only into it for, you know, for about 140, so.
Okay. Anything else, Kara?
No.
Okay. Mr. Upton, any questions?
Yeah, this piece you presented to us here, this sale, 185,000, when was that?
185,000?
Yeah, you got it sold, 185,000.
January, in, marker there, it's January 8th, 2017.
Where do I see that?
Up, where I
Oh,
wrote.
I'm sorry, January.
That's mine, good penmanship there,
Okay.
sorry about that.
Oh, and
Okay,
there's
and
no
this is-
pictures of this unit either.
No. This is riverfront, in-suite laundry, indoor parking. And this is on the 4th floor, huh?
That's correct, Riverside, yeah.
Okay. And you're familiar with this unit?
Yeah,
That was
that was your grandparents'
your
unit.
grandparents'
Yeah.
unit. And had it been renovated?
It had been renovated since they bought it, yeah.
Okay.
and, you know, obviously they're, you know, grandpa passed away and grandma was going through a home, so it's not, you know, January 2017, so it's not as updated as the one that I have now, but, you know, definitely a better unit,
Okay, thank you.
quite substantially.
Thanks, Bob. Lynn, any questions?
No, I have no questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna go first to these comparables. I guess it was a previous brief presented to you?
Yes.
By an assessor at the department, okay?
Yeah.
And you've honed in on comp number 3, selling for $155 a square foot. First of all, let's start at the top. None of these are river facing, is that correct? 412, 710, 510, and 210.
No,
Okay, so they're all similar. They've got that influence that your subject has. But when I look at the sales, that's the only low one. That's the lowest.
yeah,
The other ones sold for 188, 209, and 210. And this comp number 3 seems to be the oddball out. I'm not sure if you know the circumstances of it
I do.
in the way of condition, but comparing it to your current condition, would you say it's not that great of a comparable?
I would say that's the only comparable that matches my suite. Now, of course, it's not gonna be as good, because I just finished the reno now, right? So how can any of these be
Yeah.
as new as the one that I just finished? But
Yeah, okay.
let me explain. So 210, which is comp 4 on that sheet, you know, 210 has indoor parking,
Okay,
in-suite laundry, and 210 did a newer kitchen and bathroom.
okay. Now
Okay, and so when you're looking at indoor parking, like individual,
let's go to comp number 2.
that's 710, yeah,
That's the penthouse?
yeah, so you have,
Sorry,
yeah.
there's indoor parking, in-suite laundry, and what else? in
And a newer
210?
kitchen bathroom, like that updated kitchen and bathroom
Okay,
Okay,
On 210,
on 210.
I have pictures of it again, it's nowhere near comparable of what you've done.
okay. Comp number 2, that's 710, that's the penthouse, but it's not facing the river.
No,
Okay, that's sold for 209. Any details on that one with regards to parking or rentals?
that one has in-suite laundry.
But no indoor parking, okay?
I couldn't confirm it, so I don't wanna say for sure.
Okay, and then comp 1 sold for 188, and that one's not facing the river.
That's
1 floor up for
412.
you.
Yeah.
Any comments on that?
That one had in-suite laundry, new flooring, kitchen and bath, from what I
Okay.
understand.
But no indoor parking, right? Yeah.
No indoor parking.
Okay. So, no, I won't ask you, it's okay, I'll leave it, we'll decide, yeah. And what is it rented at right now?
Well, it's not rented, we're just negotiating right now with Murdoch Management.
Okay, and you said you've got it for sale currently?
We listed it, yeah, to see if we could get any offers.
Okay, it's post-reference, what are you asking for?
2099.
2099,
I'm
okay,
not sure why that's relevant since it's post-reference.
I agree, I'm just asking,
Okay.
okay? And permit value declared on the construction costs.
I forget what we put on the permit. I think we said 35.
Okay,
I forget.
so permit value is 35,000. Actual is usually considerably more. Would that be accurate in this circumstance?
No,
No?
no. I think we came in. I think we came in closer to 30.
Okay,
Well, I don't think. I know we came in closer to 30.
okay. I have no other questions. Anything else? No? Kara? Comment? No? Okay, Mr. Wemple, I think we've got a clear picture of where you're coming from with this. Would you like to summarize?
Yeah, I just like I said before, I just want to compare to the same unit with the same amenities. One thing I was going to say, I didn't want to cut you off there, but you know, in-suite laundry isn't something that can be added later. Either the unit has it or it doesn't.
Because of the plumbing?
Because of the plumbing, yeah, because it's concrete condo, concrete steel construction. You know, either you have river or you don't, or you have parking or you don't. Parking in and of itself, I mean, you know, titled parking spots have traded for 20 to 25,000 per unit. Like if I went to go buy, if somebody was willing to sell their parking unit right now, you'd be in somewhere that 20 to 25,000 per unit. And they are, you know, they are separately titled, so you can they're tied to your condo, but you can sell it to another condo owner as long as you own a unit in that building.
Okay,
Well, I don't know if they're titled, but they're saleable,
yeah,
I guess is what I mean.
okay.
So I think it's important to take, to not just look at, because I feel like the comps are misleading. And so just to wrap it up, I just wanna make sure that we're comparing, everybody already knows that I've refreshed the condo, that's, you know, that, I'm not arguing that, we have done that. What I am arguing is that we're not making proper comparisons, so that's all I have to say there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Mr. Rempel, leave it with us, okay?
Right?
And you'll hear from us as soon as possible.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Thank you, thanks for being so patient. All right. That concludes 916 Cloutier Drive, unit number 304. And once the appellant has left, Ms. Copley, we are going to go through a couple of, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Good day.
Bye-bye. We're going to go through a couple of no-shows, right?
Okay.
Okay, so, Kara, we're going to start with 703 Riverwood. And that's item number 11.
Okay.
No, it's not 11, is it? Oh, new 11, but
It's not even that. I think.
703, it's item 10 on my,
It was 8 on mine.
yeah.
Okay, let me see what it is on mine. I think I'm with you, Kara.
703 Riverwood. I got it here, item 5.
5, okay.
Top of the list,
Okay,
this is item 5.
so we're dealing with 703 Riverwood Avenue, unit number
Yep.
305, and Ms. Kepley, would you mind reading a quick summary? And looks like there's
Yeah.
possibly a recommendation.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess, how to do this, but, yeah, there is a recommendation here,
Okay.
and the appellant or the owner did agree to it, so that's why I attached his email here, so.
Okay, would you mind for the record detailing the property,
Sure.
roll number and everything?
Okay,
Yeah.
the subject property is 0309-144-2000. It is a condo number of 601. It has a street address of 305-703 Riverwood Avenue. It is a neighborhood area of 606 Point Road. It is an apartment style built in 2008. 1 floor, 1,040 square feet. There are 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, 1 half bath, 1 shower. It has central air conditioning and a balcony sunroom. We had the 2020 assessment at $303,000. I did talk with the gentleman, and he agreed to a reduction of $298,000.
Okay, accepted by the appellant. Okay, any questions, Mr. Upton?
No, I have no question.
Thank you. Lynn, any
I'm
questions?
sorry, yes, I do. Like, why did you recommend the?
Because the value is within 5%, so we can't change it. We can't change it at the department, because that is with the assessment or the standard of IAAO, right?
But you're suggesting a decrease of slightly over that 5, whatever, the
Yeah.
amount,
I'm recommending that, and that's what he asked for.
298.
because
Yes.
that's what he asked for
Yes.
in your.
Yes,
He's asking for a $5,000 reduction.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Is
Okay,
that, sorry, is
that's all I
that how I
wanted to-
should have said it?
No, it was more like I was wondering.
Yeah, he asked, sorry, I guess I wasn't clear on that. He asked for the $5,000
And you're in
reduction, and
agreement.
I'm in agreement with
And
it.
so
I think
then
I said it
he's-
reversed,
No,
right?
that's fine. He asked, you agreed, he's agreeing with you.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, that's
Okay,
fine. I just
sorry.
wondered why.
Okay, and the last one, I think, am I right? Yes, is 25 Tim Sale.
Tinsdale Drive.
What number is that?
25,
Number
12?
756. I tend to look, yeah,
It's
it's
my
easier
number
to look
8.
at the file
Okay,
numbers.
your number 8.
yeah, Tim
I got
Sale,
number 8.
Yeah.
Or the addresses.
10825 Tim Sale, unit number 108, pardon me. And
So,
Ms.
I
Kepley,
guess-
could you go through this one, whether, just for the record, the roll number and any
Okay.
contact or anything like that?
Sure. The subject property is 030929888465. It is a condo number 856. The street address is 10825 Tim Sale Drive. It is in the neighborhood area of 682 South Point. It is a building style of garden entry, built in 2014, one floor, 870 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, and a balcony sunroom. The comparables are within the same building. There's actually recent comparables there. Comparable 1, 3, and 4 are excellent comparables compared to the subject property. They're very similar. I did have contact with this homeowner by email only.
And did you provide the comps and they were, any comments on what they responded or?
He provided some post-reference comps, so I sent him back an email and he didn't agree to it, and I'm surprised he didn't show up.
Okay, so you're sticking with your
Sticking with the value, yes.
219?
Yes, the
Okay,
department is requesting.
based on market
that.
evidence,
Yeah,
okay.
market evidence.
All right. Okay, I think that was our last one, wasn't it? Yeah, okay.
Wait, I have one more here.
Yeah, the
106,
60
1660
yeah.
Pembina?
Yeah, and I don't have anything in the
I
file.
don't know if that was withdrawn
Oh, right,
or
yes,
something,
you're
or
right.
if that
Nope.
was just a no-show?
No, I guess we have to, I'm sorry, that's my
Okay.
mistake, yeah, it was yellowed out and we didn't, he wasn't here. Okay, so let's deal with.
Okay, sure. The subject property is 0308 000 9900. It has a condo number of 315. The street address is 106 1660 Pembina Highway. It is a neighborhood area of 612 Crescent Park, an apartment built in 1990. 1 floor, 1,201 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, 1 half bath, 1 shower, central air conditioning. It has a beautiful patio deck. The comparables are all in the same building. I think this, you asked me before about the first floor, the top floor, which value one. You can just see by the page 2, the patio on this being a first floor, that this is definitely value added there. And the comps have the same bedrooms, bath, the comps supported, the square footage is the same. So the department asks that the 2020 assessment roll of $269,000 be confirmed.
All right. And any contact with the appellant?
Nope, none on this one.
Any questions from the panel?
No, none for me,
Okay.
thanks.
And that concludes 1660 Pembina Highway.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
there was
Burroughs.
some
Oh,
contact.
it was, okay.
Yeah, there was just a phone conversation, or a counter call with the owner.
Counter call, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
What happened to Burroughs Avenue? Was that withdrawn?
Withdrawn.
Bottom one?
That was probably withdrawn.
Withdrawn, yeah.
Withdrawn, okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
okay, so that concludes our hearing for today. Thank you, Ms. Kapleve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kara.
Thank you.
Thanks, Thank you. And you know it's Cap Levy, right?
Cap Levy.
Now.
What's that?
I said, you know it's Cap Levy. That's